Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you, as I hope we always do. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, and we got a lot of things we're going to cover today. But what the topic we're going to cover today is it's kind of unique. Hold on for a second. Let me readjust here. Much better, much better. Good deal. Yeah, we're gonna touch a topic today that is a little touchy. That's a little touchy. A topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but you know how we do here on the Morning Glow. We typically do that. We talk about things that other people don't want to talk about, and we talk about them in their entirety. In their entirety. Let me say, phone lines open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We'd love to have your input. Give us a call. Actually, I'm flying solo right now. It's Monday morning, but it's okay because I have you. I have each and every one of you here with me, and we're gonna handle this situation. We're gonna handle this situation. We're gonna handle the topic. And we're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. And again, you can give us a call 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input on what we're talking about today. I'm multitasking, so at the beginning of the broadcast, excuse me, I'm multitasking, trying to take care of a lot of things. Let me see who we have over here. Johnson, good morning, Johnson. How you doing this morning? Great to have you. Great to have you. We're gonna keep this thing going. Let me see if y'all bear with me just for a second as I get myself get everything lined up here in the way that I want it to be. We'll be able to move forward. Let me see. I got a few things I have to do in the morning when I first get started. Okay, give me 1 second here. There we go. Okay, good. I think we're ready. Now, this situation that's going on in Ukraine. Situations that are going on in Ukraine. I think that they're in talks right now, and I think they're in the process of trying to make some kind of a headway and hopefully do something different. So it's ugly right now. It's ugly, and they was telling me that they was telling me okay, there's Badger there. They was telling me that an American broadcaster was amongst the people that got killed over there. He was over there broadcasting, doing his job or whatever, and got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And in the course of that, he unfortunately lost his life. Now, does that put a whole different spin on what's going on over there in Ukraine? Does that put a whole different spin now that one of the American journalists has been killed over there? Does that make the situation different? Does that make America look at it differently now that it's one of their own? See, my thing is, and I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. And I could be totally wrong with this. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Tell me how you all feel, but it doesn't matter whether it's American or not an American. To me, it doesn't matter. The way I see it, innocent people are losing their lives over there. Innocent people are being killed, and because of that reason, something should be and have to be done. I mean, this whole power. I think it's a power thing. Um, you got Putin jockeying for power. He's jockeying for position and trying to be a dictator. He's trying to. I think like I said again, I could be wrong. I never claimed to know everything, so I could be totally wrong on this. But I don't think that I am. I don't think that I am. I think he's trying to be a dictator, and I think that him trying to be a dictator, he's trying to thrust his power and do what he think he needs to do to be in a place of leadership. And I don't think that that's what's important, because what's happening right now at this particular time is he's killing people. Lack of a better term, he's killing people. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm breathing.
What do you think about this whole situation going on over there in Ukraine, man? Is it a power thing? What do you think it is?
Hmm. It. I've gotten very cautious about it
Mm-hmm.
because, like, I'm looking at the oil stocks and gas stocks and everything else, watching America blame a whole bunch of stuff on Russia, and you know, here we are, a country that's got many years in reserves and all kinds of stuff, telling their people, um, because of the war, we're gonna have to increase prices and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking over there at the Russian stuff and things like that, and I'm sitting here going, huh, what are they really after?
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's how do I word this? Okay. So we're going to tell you not we're going to tell a country not to fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but we're still going to buy some of your stuff.
Mm. No, I think what it is, America has America along with other countries has actually stopped buying things from Russia. They cut them off from a lot of different activities, even some of the Olympic events. They suspended or expelled Russia from those situations as well. They're really I think right now what they're doing, they're drawing the line between a lot of different things and letting Russia know that what they're doing at this point in time is not right. And these are the ways that they're doing it by expelling them from different situations. And as far as like buying different things from Russia, America and a lot of NATO countries has really ceased with purchasing things and sending things to Russia right now until they halt what they're doing.
Hold
Hmm?
Oh, I'm looking something up real quick.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's one of the things that they're saying that they're doing. They're halting a lot of the different activities that's actually going on in Russia right now. They're halting the activities that we are sending things to them and buying things from Russia. They've actually put a hold on it. So they're not from what I understand, and yeah, definitely do your research, brother. From what I understand is I don't think that they're purchasing anything from Russia. Um, and sending anything over to Russia until this whole situation is rectified. But my thing is, my even outside of that, my thing is this: you have a lot of innocent people that are being killed. Whether I feel one way or another, it's still the loss of life. It's still the loss of life, and people are losing their lives because of this. And now they're saying that it's a totally different situation now. I don't know why it would be different now. Maybe because that American journalist, the American journalist was killed in the process of being over there trying to report and stuff like that. Does that make you feel a little differently about it? I don't think that it should. It's it's it's
No,
it's it's another life that's lost, and it's very unfortunate, and you don't want to see it happen. But at the same time, what about all the other people? Are you saying that it's a different war now that one of our own has been killed over there? Well, what about everybody else? There's still a lot of people that's being killed over there in Russia, in the Ukraine right now, by the hands of the Russians. And so it's a lot tied up into it, man. It's a very it's slippery. It's very slippery. Lack of a better term, it's very slippery. And so we have to do something. Go ahead, brother.
I mean it is. You've got Russia asking China for help right now. Um, there's the NATO groups that are saying no. But as far as like the war itself and people dying and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I disagree with it and don't like it, welcome to the world where corporations run it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as people are there's oil or diamonds or something some a bunch of greedy people want, there's going to be war.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing we can do unless God steps in and goes, there will be no more war, and takes away our freedom of choice from
Mm-hmm.
all human beings. war to some kind of degree is going to happen.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I could agree with a piece or a part of that. But there are some things that we could do because NATO is supposed to be one of the things that's put in place that's supposed to govern certain situations like this. And I don't know if I don't know if Putin even care. Truth of the matter, I don't know if Putin really even care, and he's certainly not listening to anybody. And you got certain individuals that see people gonna pick sides and everything. Badger people are absolutely going to pick sides and everything and feel the way that they feel. And it's fine. Feel the way that you feel, think the way that you think, but at least have some ration and reason on what you're doing and how you're thinking. Because now they're saying that this whole situation is Biden's fault, and they saying that if they're saying that if Trump was still the president, this will not happen. I looked at something just yesterday on Wisconsin. Wisconsin is still fighting. They're still fighting, trying to get the vote overturned and get Trump back in office. I'm like, man, it's been 2 years now. Get over it, man. It's not going to happen. But they got
Man,
people all over Wisconsin right now. All part of the government in Wisconsin is fighting right now, trying to stop the steal is what they're talking about. Stop the steal, and they're saying that Biden should not be the president. That Trump should be president. They cannot hold on or grasp the whole idea that Trump lost, and the whole government,
wait,
they're fighting. They're still fighting. Late as yesterday, they still fighting, man. I don't know if they're gonna wake up this morning and
are
feel different.
you? Oh my god. Okay, let me get my brain to process this. Um, so for a human being that's named Trump that lost the presidential election,
Yes.
won his election by electoral college, not by popular vote. Um, who's told Putin, whatever the Russian dude's name is,
Putin.
that what he's doing is okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's got a good head on his shoulders and understands. I mean, Trump forced the oil pipeline. Oh, wait, it's oil. So as long as it's for oil, the American people are okay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, no, Trump wouldn't have stopped that oil pipeline. The oil. He wouldn't have signed any. We'd still be buying oil from Russia right now.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Um, matter of fact, he's probably like saying one thing and doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's throwing money out that way.
Mm-hmm.
To
Mm-hmm.
him, it's a business investment.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, people say, well, Trump was a great businessman. He was a great businessman. He knew business and blah blah blah. I kind of beg to differ. I don't. It's hard for me to say that someone is a great businessman when majority of their businesses end up in bankruptcy. Well, that's a great strategy. A great strategy. I think you want a business to succeed, not to close the doors because you have to file bankruptcy. But they say a lot of people say that he's a great businessman, and they feel that way, and they stand on that. What do you think? Do you think, Badger? Do you think Trump was a great business or is a great businessman?
I think he's a businessman. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of respect for a human being that downgrades women and other human beings. Um, I think so many Americans want to live the American dream and be those big rich people, and
Mm-hmm.
that him being, Trump, he's been on TV and his own shows, you're fired and all that junk, you know.
Apprentice. Uh-huh. The Apprentice.
yeah, whatever
Mhm.
that show is. Um, it's that people are more worried about the materialistic things, and then corporations are making it so hard to live that you have to kind of be like Trump to some degree,
Mhm. Ruthless.
and it sucks.
Mhm.
Um, milk's what, $5 a gallon now. Gas is 4 to
25
$5.
$25 a gallon.
So just looking at the situation as a whole. It's here we're going to increase minimum wage where we don't really like how much we're having to pay now. So we're going to increase the prices on everything. Oh, wait, now there's a war. It's because of the war we're increasing the prices. I wonder
Mhm.
how many of them will actually go down once the war's over.
Mhm.
You know, yes, I think about the people that are being killed and all this other stuff, but I'm looking at a bigger picture of how is everything related to what's going on right now, from past into what they're talking about coming in the future. You know, I'm one of those that think the Twin Towers
Mhm.
is a setup job. You
Yeah.
cannot tell me the most powerful country did not know that plane was coming and
Mhm.
couldn't shoot it down.
Well, a lot of people actually feel that way. That it was all a setup move, and it was by design. A lot of people actually feel that way. Let me see here. Let me see. I didn't even, Badger, I didn't even check my phone lines on. No wonder why I ain't got no calls this morning. My phone line's not on. Okay, let's do this right here.
There are 3 participants in the conference.
Okay, I was
Please
wondering.
announce yourself.
I can't say usually what I usually say when I turn my phone lines on, but Captain Leonard,
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
man, I didn't even turn my phone line on. I was wondering. I said, man, why ain't got no phone call this morning?
Boy,
Yeah, man.
I'm like,
Monday
this
mornings.
dude, what is he doing?
Hey, Monday mornings, but I say rainy days, Monday mornings and rainy days or something like that. They say,
They
yeah.
must be pulling down.
Leonard, I know you've been listening in, brother. What's on your heart? What do you think about this whole situation, man? Is it terrible? Uh, do you see it getting any better?
No, the world is always terrible. That's what the world is about.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not surprise me, but there's a way to handle men who are out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a problem with any man who believes he should control the world.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That man is the problem
Now let me ask
right
you.
now.
Let me ask you this: do you think? And I might be reaching here a little bit, man, but do you think him and Trump is pretty much cut from the same cloth? Both of them want to be dictators and want to run and control everything.
Yes. Yes,
Wow,
that's
wow.
exactly the way it is today. If people go back and look at the evidence, they will see that this is the main reason why when Trump got in office, his first thing was to disable Ukraine and to keep it from being able to protect itself, as well as limit the resources and the aid that the United States had been previously sending Ukraine.
Mm, wow,
He is
wow.
a traitor.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So,
And all of you who believe that he's this great guy and he's looking out for everyone and he has the answer, may you perish in hell with them.
mm, mm. Now, some has said that Trump is a great businessman. Leonard, and I beg to differ, and everybody feels the way they feel about different things, and somebody may feel different the way I feel, and it's okay. It's okay. But
I,
I
like the
don't.
Bible says, I don't care what he gains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't care what you think.
yeah, yeah.
He is still an evil man and he has evil intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And Christians should not look on those doing evil and covet their power, what they have, or any influence that they
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But again, I don't think. And we have Tucson on the line. I want to go to Tucson as well. But I don't think a person that majority of their business, if not all of their business, in bankruptcy. I don't think that's a great business,
Well,
man.
bankruptcy. Well, black folks have a warped sense of bankruptcy in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Bankruptcy is a tool. Bankruptcy is a tool, and it does not mean that you don't have money or you broke or whatever. It just means that you don't want to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And is that a good thing? I mean,
I mean, is it good or bad? It's good for the person that claims it.
yeah. It's good
But
for
it
the
ain't good for the people that you owe.
yeah, absolutely. And ask all them college students when he started Trump University. Ask them, is it good for them? When they put
Thank you.
invested all they invested all that money, man, and then they closed the doors and they couldn't get their money back because he filed bankruptcy. Got all these people money
Exactly.
and then just ran. Wow.
Remember what we said last week about cognitive dissonance.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Regardless of the evidence of the truth of the matter,
Mm-hmm.
you choose something else.
Yeah. Absolutely. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
Toussaint, okay. What do you think about the situation we're talking about this morning, brother? What's on your heart?
What are you talking about, Mr. Putin and Trump?
Yes, sir. Yes,
The
sir.
situation of this
Mm-hmm.
society.
And everybody is saying that because of the fact that we had an American journalist that was killed over in Ukraine, it puts a whole different light on everything. Should that make a difference?
It says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's.
Come on.
How did we get to the point that we decided to pick sides over
Mhm.
fallout or a disagreement or something between?
Yeah.
How did we get in there? If now, let me just say this, and I think that in some sense we are all, me, you, and or we can say that we are friends, brotherly friends, right?
Yes.
Can we say that?
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, we kind of rational, right?
Mm-hmm.
If either one of us three, fall out with one of us, you think the third person gonna get involved in that?
A lot of times, no.
So why do we police the world?
Mm. We we think we're the
And,
go.
and on our dime.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part.
Yeah.
It costs you to get involved in other folks' business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not free.
Yeah.
When you have to uh, alert the military force,
Mm-hmm.
you have to send planes and ships and submarines to a certain area. You think that's free?
No, sir. Not free at all.
But why? Why do you think that's going to stop them from doing what they do?
And see, and what I was saying earlier, with an individual like Putin that want to be a dictator, I don't think he even care. I don't think he even
You
care.
don't.
And that's the sad part. He don't care. Go ahead, Toussaint.
No, you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't care. And you're talking about Cuckoo, the Donald Trump. That's an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean any harm by saying it, but this guy here, it's all about him.
Yeah.
It ain't about you.
Mm-hmm.
You showed that. For sure, if it doesn't have a figure in front of it, he ain't involved nowhere in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people say, well, he's just a good businessman.
Mm.
Well, you talked about that. So anyway, I don't know. I don't get involved in other folks' business, and I don't see why we would.
Because, excuse me. Because Toussaint, you said you got 6 months and another 6 months. How did that thing work out?
To leave everybody's business alone. 6 months to mind mine, 6 months to leave everybody else's business alone.
There you go. Absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
kind of agreeing with some of what they're saying. It's there's always going to be an evil human being,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's something that, and if you're walking a good path, you're not going to agree with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's you can execute every single so-called bad human being on the planet, and more are just going to be created.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's just the way things are.
That's just the way it is. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo. Some things will
So
never change. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo.
it's
Love you.
always uh, there's always one country wanting something from somebody else. I
Mhm.
mean, what the Middle East war has been going on for how long?
For a while. Yes, sir.
So, um, I know there's still some back and forth in Ireland over religion.
Mm-hmm.
Are you this religion or are you that religion? You know, or are you this one?
Mm-hmm.
So like there's always these little fights and little wars, and now there's a bigger version. Like
Mm-hmm.
here in America, we've been at war with our government about Native American sovereignty rights, racism, equality, living wages, you know. And oh, look at what happens in that's happening over in Russia and Ukraine. Some of it has sounds really similar to the American people going, no, we
Mm.
would like change. We don't want to be a part of this system anymore. Unfortunately, I think what's going on is just teaching the American people not to say anything.
Mm.
I got
Programming.
a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Toussaint.
What happened to coronavirus?
Kind of went on the wayside, on the back burner, then.
We die, and all of a sudden there's a war between two other folks, and we don't hear nothing about the danger we in.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, less people getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
And they certainly are
I'm,
not.
I'm asking for
And they certainly are
I'm
not
asking
looking at the
for a friend.
numbers. They're certainly not looking at the numbers as they did 6 months or a year ago. They're not looking at those numbers. Those numbers are not as quite as important as they were then. It's kind of interesting. Diversionary tactics, brother. Diversionary tactics. Um, Leonard, are people as a whole, and we're not talking about everybody because we know does not apply to everybody. But are people typically just evil like that, man? Where they would just go in there and try to take over? Are they? I guess evil shouldn't be a good word, but are they just that power hungry? Are people just that power hungry?
Yes, yes, and it's always been like this. Men
Mm,
are men, and good men must stand up against bad men.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is the natural part of this creation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people can go back and forth with God about it, but it is obvious who is trying to do the right thing and who is not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't see that, you are probably one of those of a reprobate mind
Yeah.
that will be cast into the fire anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no sense in me trying to pretend as if it was ever any other way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me do
So,
it. Let
and
me.
anybody who is
Mm-hmm.
living in this dream world, that's probably why they believe that they're not doing anything right now. This is
Mm-hmm.
why they're not getting involved, or we don't need to worry about that. But you want everybody to worry about what you're worried about.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You got the same people who think that the lives of a certain color of people is so important to the fact that they can watch thousands of other people die and never say a word.
Wow. Wow. And I want to address Karina. Karina 198216 says hello from Germany. Hello from Germany. Good to have you, Karina. Very good to have you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Guten Morgen.
See, we got bilingual people, trilingual people on here. They can speak all kind of languages. And Karina, if
Shout
you
out to these by the city.
exactly, exactly. And Karina, if you don't mind, what do you think? And you can write it in the post. I know you probably won't be able to call in, but what do you think about the situation that's going on in Ukraine right now from Germany? What's the atmosphere? What's the climate over there as to what's going on over in Ukraine? What do you think about that? If you get an opportunity, can I join in for a little talk? Absolutely, you could join in. The number is on the thing 50892. Now I don't know what the international code is, but 508-924-3521 is the number that you can call. Uh yeah, so definitely we love to have your input. We definitely love to have your input as to what you think about and tell us what you're doing, what you think about what's going on over there in Ukraine. Tell us what you think about what's going on. Go ahead, Linda. You were saying something, brother.
You know, there's a simple thing about it, and this is what a great public education does for you.
Mm-hmm.
A public education don't try to teach you everything, but just give you a summary and some highlights.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have gone through the public school system, you understand the issues between Russia and the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the difference between democracy and communism. You understand the difference between freedom and lack of freedom. Now, the guns and butter debate, for instance, Russia would rather, the government and Putin would rather starve those people to fight this war.
Mm-hmm.
These people are completely inconvenienced. They can't transact money. Say, for instance, imagine if you couldn't send no cash app today,
Yeah.
or you couldn't make bank transfers, or you couldn't get your money or swipe your card to buy food.
Mm-hmm.
This is what these people are going through in this area.
Mm-hmm.
It's because their government could care less about them. And it is only one man and his intentions that is really promoting this war. If you are supporting and for that man, you're just as wicked as he is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So you can call it whatever you would like. You can fight about it. But when you see innocent people standing in the street in a government that would roll a tank over them, kill them all just because they didn't want to hear what they had to say, who you support?
Mm-hmm.
Who you support? You have to be honest with yourself.
Exactly.
Does it matter if the people standing up are black or white?
No.
Ask yourself that question. Because
Mm-hmm.
to some people it does, it do. And I hope their feelings are hurt today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you can watch other people die like this and say, don't do nothing, why should anybody come to your rescue?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And see, and that was my point. That was my point earlier when I was talking about it shouldn't matter whether you're actually American or whatever the case. It shouldn't matter. You know,
No.
they're making this big fuss right now because an American journalist got killed over in Ukraine. Well, what about all the other thousands of people that's gotten killed?
Exactly.
You're putting precedence on this one individual, and it's unfortunate. You know, I hate that it happened, but you can't put precedence on this one individual because they're from America and disregard the thousands of other people that was killed. I
That's
don't
right.
understand that. I don't understand it. Help me understand that, brother.
There's no way to understand it because it is not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wrong. And there are some people that have gotten so used to doing wrong that they're celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
They think that it's okay to just not care about anything or anybody. But soon they have an issue. Guess what? They want some help.
Mm-hmm.
They want some help.
Yeah.
People say, why should we be doing these things or whatever? But if I'm your friend and I found out that somebody's holding you hostage and I can get to you, I'm going to try to get to you
Mm-hmm.
because you're my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we made an agreement that I would do something for you and it's time for me to honor that agreement, I'm going to honor that agreement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I'm not hanging around with everybody, this, that, and the other,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to be everybody's friend, and because when it comes down to it, who is your friend?
Exactly. And
Who
that
is your friend?
goes to that scriptural. Who's your neighbor? And it asks the question, who's
Y'all
your
got
neighbor?
right.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell who your friend and your neighbor is by who you help and who
Yeah.
you do for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So people should be like, think about that. Because I don't have to ask you if you're a Christian. We don't even have to share that information with one another.
Yeah. Exactly.
We just
Exactly.
watch what we do and how we
Mm-hmm.
treat people.
Mm-hmm. The actions, your
That's
actions,
how we should be known.
your,
That's how we should be known.
your actions and your interactions tell the whole story.
Yes,
It tells the whole
yes.
story. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
So when you say neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
that conversation was kind of went into a back and forth. Um, when I think, and I'm just going here because I'm going here. Um, I think Jesus is. Uh, they say, "Hey, your mama them outside. Your mama them, and your sister
Mm-hmm.
them, and your brother them. They outside."
mm-hmm.
And he said, "Who my mama? Who my sister? My brother?" Matter of fact, another one said, "Well, who my neighbor is?"
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "The one that do the will of my Father." Why did I say that? There is good and evil folks that we got to realize that um, it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
People are evil
Yeah.
and they do evil things.
Mm-hmm.
They don't intend to do any good to
Yeah.
anybody. And
Absolutely.
because they feel a certain way about somebody, they want you to jump in with them about the issues that they
Mm-hmm.
have with other folks. That ain't my
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you're doing people wrong, I'm not going to jump in on the bandwagon with
No.
you.
No.
Shouldn't.
Not at
It
all.
don't. That don't even make no sense
Mm-hmm.
for me to see you abusing somebody that can't help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, hey, since that's my friend, I'm just going to not do anything or just join in with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now here we are, all of these people, and you know, I'm seeing that some people are kind of feeling a certain way about Ukraine because when the rubber meets the road, they ain't doing good either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here's the thing about that: sooner or later, you're gonna reap what you sow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's gonna come, and so I be careful about how I join in with folks because guess what? If you join in with folks that have reaping coming to them, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Badger, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
What's the question, Bob?
No, we're still talking the same thing. We're still talking the
Oh,
same thing
good
about
night.
this whole situation. As a matter of fact, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Let's switch it up. It's 48, so we're gonna switch the topic a little bit before we get to our main topic of the day. It's been said that a lot of people, and I've been seeing it over the internet and on TV, they talking about swingers, man. And this is a topic that I have no idea. I have no knowledge on it, so I'm leaving on y'all expertise. I know what it is and how they supposedly do it or whatever, but they're saying that's going leaning toward the new norm, man. Swinging and people going out there and just swapping and all kind of bodily fluids amongst each other and stuff To me, that's just nasty. But Badger, what do you swinging, man?
Boy,
What do you
talk about a subject, Joe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a transition, right? Uh, but swing. What do you think about this whole swinging thing? They say it's the norm, man. It's the new thing, and everybody's doing it. I ain't doing it. But what do you think about that?
Once again, it actually kind of goes along with the subject beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in society, it's really hard to learn about being a real human being.
Mm-hmm.
You'll come across people here and there, or groups here and there, that talk about honor, respect, community, being responsible for your own actions,
Mm-hmm.
because depending on your choice, you're going to affect others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and those kinds of things. And most people think they can be selfish and greedy, and it doesn't matter if they hurt people or they have no understanding that it's hurting other people. And so, like, it, it's just one of those things. Some people are going to find it acceptable and some ain't.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. I'm one of the ones that fit in that category of ain't. But what do you say about that, man? This whole swinger thing that's going on, man. They talking about they got little swinger clubs and all kind of stuff, man. Like, man, I'm not interested in no mess like that, man. Leonard, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it's been around. They just wanted to be trying to make it as popular as mainstream,
Yeah.
but they've always been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, that's what those people do.
And these are and the
So,
majority. They say the majority of these people are married people, man. They're swapping their husbands and wives, and just
hmm
I'm like, what? Man, hold
hmm
on, bro.
yeah, but that's how they live, and that's how you know you're different because you don't.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't no. We ain't no.
So,
We ain't got no time for
so
that kind of
I
mess.
I choose not to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't too much get into it, with people about it. I really, to each his own
Mm-hmm.
and what they do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think that that's helping you or something like that, hey, I can wait. I can wait.
My, my thing is this right here, Leonard, and I might be I might be gullible when it comes to this here, man. But my thing is this right here. If if you're not happy with the person that you're with, and you feel like you gotta bring somebody else into your marriage and stuff like that, man, get a divorce.
Yeah,
If you don't want to be with that person, and you need, in order to keep it going and keep it spicy, you need to bring somebody else in there, man. Y'all don't maybe y'all don't need to be together.
you know what? And that's what they usually find out.
I'm like,
And you
wow.
and you usually will wind up hearing their testimony down the road somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I lost my marriage, I lost my family and everything
Yeah. Yeah.
because of this issue.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow,
So
wow.
those people, birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm. And they die together.
Yes.
They died together. That's crazy to me. Tucson, what's on your heart, man? This whole swinging thing. Charles, I see you, brother, coming to you next. What do you think about this whole swinging thing?
I almost started singing that song, just the swing.
Hollywood swinging.
That
Mm,
would be, well, we live in not only a selfish and a moral society, we live in a nasty one.
yeah, yeah.
You do whatever you want.
Mm,
I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's okay. Even the laws have come to the point where don't tell me what to do. Matter of fact, if you don't like it and you say anything about it, you're just throwing out hate speeches. You're a hater.
mm,
You and
wow.
you are trying to uh, use even the Bible to discriminate
Mm-hmm.
against me
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like that's what I want to do. It's my body. I'm good. I
Mm,
mean, Hey, if I feel like I want to screw a frog, bring it on. Let me have it.
Mm.
We live in the people nasty.
The Wart
So
Society. The
if
Wart.
if a husband and a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend and boyfriend or a girlfriend and a girlfriend or mate, a significant other, we like to say that, wants to, hey, you come on and we've been together for a couple of years now, and we decide we want to explore.
Mm.
That's what we're gonna do, and people do
Wow.
that. That's good. And it's the bad thing about it, and I say the bad thing about it, and people say, here he go, or here they go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the bad thing about it is it's a normal. It has become normal.
Mm.
But the thing about it, the worst about it is nobody says that it's normal to have marriage
Yeah. Yeah.
between a husband and a wife to raise a family.
Mm-hmm.
I see
Mm-hmm.
people that I've seen grown up and they post it and it's hit bad. Here's another bad thing about it. Now shut up. They want everybody to know about it and they post it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I see young folks and this girl, these ladies, these young, beautiful young ladies, and they just tricking all over the place.
Mm.
And then they get on social media and they I don't know what the dance is, and I don't know where they get the music from. But back in the day, we just said pop, 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 pop that Gucci.
He done went Luke on us, Leonard. He done went Luke. Cousin Luke. You done woke up cousin Luke. Cousin Luke over there sleeping, chilling in the corner. You don't woke him up. Cousin Luke. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing right there though, man. A lot of times, man, I think it goes down morals and ethics and stuff like that, and what you stand on. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's up, man? It's Uncle Luke, you old dude.
Oh, now I'm the old dude. Ain't that something? Now I'm the old dude. What? oh, oh,
Happy Monday. Happy Monday, old fella.
yeah, I be the old guy in the room. I be the old guy. But Charles,
Hey,
let me.
man, hey, it's a blessing to get there.
Yes, sir. Yes, hey, and I say it like the old man told me a long time ago. Just keep living. Keep living. Just keep living.
Amen.
That's how
Amen.
the thing goes. Just keep living. I promise you'll get there. But
Well,
we talking about this whole swinging thing, Charles, and let's say like everybody they trying to make it a norm, like they're trying to put it on the mainstream. Charles,
it's not.
go ahead.
It's an old thing. It's an old thing. It's
Hmm.
just that, like with social media, everything comes out. You can grasp more things.
Hmm.
It's an old thing. So more people get to uh, divulge in it or dive into it, and it becomes the norm. Like Toussaint was saying, people look at that as a norm and not marriage as a norm.
Hmm.
It's just a whole. It's been out there now. This is nothing
Yeah,
new.
yeah. It's not new.
It's been out there. It's just that we see it more because of how technology is.
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
Technology let us see it more now than ever before. And if you don't have a control over your children and things like this, they make those decisions to go into those things. When I'm
Hmm.
not saying control, I'm saying like training control because you have to
Yeah,
train a child. You
yeah.
have to train a child. So, and this shows the how society is with letting things control your child and stuff. You understand? As of in the things on social media, like Sark was saying also about the music and the dancing and everything is being more accepted because it's on social media and everybody else is doing it. If you're not doing it, you're the square.
Hmm.
Same thing
Hmm.
with with the you didn't hear about poly relationship. That it was true. We know it was around, but you didn't hear about that stuff like you hear about it now on social media
Yeah,
because social media puts it out there. And people get on there and they brag about their poly relationships and they brag about their swinging and they do all those things. So when other people do that, it's more accessible. It becomes more acceptable
Mm-hmm.
when nobody talks against it. Because if I talk against it, then I'm a hater. Like it's the same thing everybody else was saying. Same
Yeah.
thing you were saying, man. It's
Yeah.
just
It's
it's just a
crazy.
wilder world out there, man. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
wilder world out there. You got to think, man. If Sodom and Gomorrah was a real place, how did it get there? How did
Come
it
on.
come all the way to that point? You know what I'm saying? It didn't just blossom. It didn't just one day tomorrow Sodom and Gomorrah. It had to be certain things that brought it to that. Brought it to Sodom and Gomorrah, to what the Bible talked about. And there's a bunch of Sodom and Gomorrah places. When you got to think about it when your presidents or your leaders say certain things and push things out there, then those things are allowed. Like you allow things in school, children getting books read to them by certain type people, and you wonder why. And you can't sit back and wonder why are things going crazy. You understand? And that's that. And I'm not even about to go forget the president level. Let's talk about the level of right there in front of you. Like Leonard always says, the people right there in front of you. The
Yeah.
mayors and the senators and the people even before that. Though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when those things are accepted and pushed, then you get stuff like this. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me do this. We have let me see. Corin, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good
Hello from
morning. How you doing
Germany.
this morning?
Excuse me?
I say good morning. How you doing this morning?
Well, it's not morning over here. It's like about to be 1 p.m.
Oh, well, good
But
afternoon. Good afternoon.
yeah, everything going great over here. Besides, the world is going crazy.
Exactly, exactly. And I want to let everybody know the difference in the time. She's actually in Germany. And I want to ask you, what is the climate like in Germany about what's going on in Ukraine right now? And what is the climate like? What are people thinking? What are people thinking about what's going on? Hello?
All of the Ukrainian people.
Yeah.
Um, so we have a lot of refugees coming already.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like I don't know, like I don't know how to put it, but it looks like it's just people made this happen. They wanted it to happen like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when you say people wanted it to happen, what
Not
is
people.
huh?
Excuse my language. I mean, don't mean people. I mean the governments. Like,
Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Now, what is your all stance? And I know you can't speak for everybody, and I'm just asking you about because of the fact that you're there. What is that whole atmosphere like in regards to Putin? What are they thinking of Putin right now and what he's doing?
Um, well, they all think he's kind of like going crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
They also feel like he's all in the wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot really name him. Like it's a problem if you say anything that's like a fact, or if you just be like, okay, I see where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You already in a bad spot for it, for
Wow.
even saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
everything is a little tense right now. I mean, I'm living very close to the border to Czech. I don't know if you know Czech. It's very close to Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of Americans over here. Like there's a lot of army bases around here,
Yes.
and they all just left, and they are worried. Everybody's worried.
Mm-hmm. And if nothing is done right now,
Wait, hold on.
I don't think it's going to get any better at all. I don't think it's going to get better at
Hold
all.
on. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on, Badger. Hold on, brother. I don't
She
think it's
just
going
said something really
to
important. I want to make sure we heard it.
Badger. Hold on, brother. I understand. Hold on. But my thing is this right here, man. And you say that everybody is leaving. Um, is it a fearful type situation?
Excuse me?
Is it a fearful type situation? Is it just fear, or they just see something coming?
No, it's not fear. Well, people are, of course, like like there's a lot of panic going around right now because everybody's just talking about World War III. Um, but I think it's people are more. How can I say that? They love, like we going from one scenario to another. Like we went from COVID to this right now.
Yes. Yes.
So there's no time to really be focusing on what's really going on. Like people just love to jump in the subject and be like, okay, that's wrong. People are doing this. Why are they doing this? And they're just following the news and the media.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
it's people are just really, really fast to judge, you know?
Mhm.
So I think I personally think it's gonna get worse. I really do.
Yes.
And but to me personally, like the worst part in all of this is the people how they changed within the last 2 years. Well, maybe they didn't even change and it's just me. But people think they know because we think we know, but we don't know shit, to be honest. Excuse my language. But you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
all I know is that I don't know anything
Mhm.
really.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But what they want me to see.
And that's the thing right there is what they want you to see. You're absolutely right. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Corin,
Yeah.
did you say that Americans are leaving
Yeah. They're
or
going
has left?
yeah, they're all going to Poland right now.
Mm.
They are like most of them. Like I live like 4 kilometers from one army base, and most of them left already. So a real good friend of mine, he's living a little closer to Poland, and he told me, he was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on, but I think I gotta get the fuck out of the army.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I keep
No,
forgetting that.
you're good. I'm glad that you're here, and I definitely appreciate it. And if you don't,
Hey,
we're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning. So my thing is, if you ever have an opportunity, we definitely love to have you back on with us, man. Don't go
can I
anywhere.
ask her something?
Absolutely. Hold
Can I
on.
ask her something?
Yes, hold on. You don't have to leave. I want you to stay as long as you can, but I
Mhm.
just want to invite you to come back on as often as you can as well. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
You, I'm trying to hear something that she said. I don't want to make her say something that she can't say. But you said that people, when you asked the question, when Raheem asked the question about Putin, and you said if people speak for him, they're ostracized. Is that what you were saying?
No. I'm sorry. I guess sorry for my English. First of all, I'm
No,
not
you're
saying
Okay.
if somebody's saying something pro, because to me most of the stuff is neither one. It's neither pro or contra, because I don't know what exactly Putin's way is. I don't know what the West way is. I don't know nothing. But if you say anything that's been a fact, like I've been listening and watching a lot of videos of Putin, right?
Right.
And I never understood why people view him a kind of way, but there's a lot of propaganda. Okay. And I'm not saying that this what is happening right now is in any way good, but
You said propaganda.
hold
there's
on.
a lot of
Let him finish, Charles.
that they made him seem a kind of way. Okay, like he's a kind of way, but also they pushed it a lot. They
Mhm.
pushed it a lot. If you like, I have a lot of Russian friends as well, and Ukrainians. They never had a bad word for Putin, never. But our media is telling us that he's bad. He's just straight up bad.
Mm-hmm. One of the things,
Uh,
one of the things that I have, and you tell me you're much more educated on this than I am, and I'm gonna go to Leonard as well. But
Mhm.
one of the things that is said that if you say anything bad about him, that the
Mhm.
repercussions could be terrible.
Excuse me, I don't know what you mean by that.
If you say something bad, you can't talk bad about him because the government will come and get you, or do something very bad to you if you speak bad about the leader of the government.
No, no,
That's
they
not in
just
Germany.
no. In Germany,
look,
it's literally just you
she said she
cannot
got no
say
question.
anything pro Putin right now.
Yeah.
There is no pro Putin because, and I even have this problem with like even with my family because I think out of all the people I know a few people. I'm the person that's the least right in any kind of way. Like I don't feel like it, like I just like everybody or I don't like you. It's not. It's to me, it's nothing, right? But people make it about that, so you can't even bring a fact or you can't bring no history or anything that you've seen, because people, oh, so you like Putin, huh? No,
Mhm.
that's not what I said. It's just something that should be in the consideration when we're talking about the subject. Same way with the Palestinians and Israelis, you know?
So, may I ask a question?
Okay, hold on.
Raheem?
One more, and we got to go to some more people, Charles. Go ahead.
All right,
Go
so you're saying that even if you tell a truth and a fact, and it's about Putin or whatever, you're all of a sudden become a Putin follower, but you're not a
Yeah.
Putin follower. You're just saying a fact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's, but it's the same thing. Like you can compare this to a lot of things in your life, I feel like, because when you just seen the vaccine stuff, if you didn't want to take the vaccine because you feel like you have the immune system to not take the vaccine, people be like, oh, so you're against vaccine, you know, you're doing harm to your family. And you know, it's just like, where are these people coming from? Sometimes I really wake up and I'll be like, am I on this right planet here? Because how can people not understand that we all have our own thoughts, we all have our own brain, right? And we know we all think different, also we all think alike somehow, and they still make such a big issue about it. I don't get it. Nobody say, hey, you have to feel how I feel, you have to I don't know, I'm such an open-minded person, but most people are so close-minded.
That's good. That's good.
It's,
Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Rico, coming to you next.
Sorry to hear about your background,
Say it again.
but sorry about your background.
No, you good.
Okay, but she was making a very good point, and it's not about picking a side. It's about what person's wrong. She knows
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
She knows that. She knows what she doesn't like. She don't need nobody to try to tell her that somebody else is doing it. It's not. What people don't understand is that you don't have freedom of speech everywhere.
Exactly.
One.
Then that was my point. Yep.
And this is what she was trying to. This is what she was telling you. And it's so big that even they who are all across the world, who are really one of his men, if they're saying the same thing as the other decent people are saying, that only leaves one other side.
Yeah.
The people that support the evil that this man is doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you can frame it in any conversation that you want. You can still try to play on your team regardless of what happens. But if your team made you lose, and we can't keep trying to handle those situations, trying to make it look like something that it's not. But it's just a lot of blocking. Working on moving that block. And that blocking is people like Putin, Trump, those people.
Hey, Leonard, your phone, your phone is a little bit low, brother. Your phone's a little bit low.
How's that, Raheem?
Much better. Much better.
Yeah, but that's the thing that people have to deal with. Like, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And it don't matter what political party you like or what have you. When decent people hear it, they know it's wrong.
Yeah.
And all of the rest support the evil that this man is doing if they support him. And this is why their country has said, we're not doing pro-Putin. We're not.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that America, we have people in America that are pro-Putin.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Wow. And am I off base when I say that in the Russia Communist Party, however you want to say it, you can't speak out against the government or something.
You can, but they'll probably kill you.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, there's some repercussions that's gonna come behind that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have no problem with silence, and anybody that runs against certain candidates or speaks out against anything.
Yeah.
Those people will be slaughtered for something that you take advantage of every single day.
Wow. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain. Welcome to a beautiful new day, everybody.
Hey, welcome to you as well, sir.
Welcome, Corin, from the other side of the globe.
hello. Good morning.
Man, it's awesome to have you on here and get a perspective from a bird's eye view. I love that you came on and actually sort of verified a lot of the things that we say on here. I read totally different than what you said.
Mm.
What I got out of it is that we are so distracted on every continent, and what I'm saying is that if we actually talk to people that saw it from firsthand experiences instead of just taking it from the sources that control the media, then we will find out most of all that most of us are on the same page. We realize just like, cause I've been posting this, seemed like coronavirus got cleared up.
Yeah.
The more people
Yeah.
start saying it, and all of a sudden Obama got it. You know,
Mhm.
we're totally distracted. And so I'm down the middle like you. This Russia and Ukraine thing, I could go back and do legitimate research and find fault with both of them.
Mhm.
But the pro-Putin thing, she didn't say she was or wasn't pro-Putin.
Yeah.
But I want to remind people, when we start giving these talking points, talking about how they'll shut people up over there and they don't allow you to do this in Russia and China, guess what Fred Hampton went through? Guess what Martin Luther King went through? They'll shut you up over here too. So what she's saying is quit going along with this democracy and Republican and Democrat and all this distraction that they give us, because really and truly in reality, all of that is a distraction. And when we go using these talking points for those of the people that want to distract us, they keep us going around in circles. We just running in circles. World War III, coronavirus, racism. We don't know which way to go. And they just sit back controlling the puppet strings. But we always got to remember this. We using the talking points. Pro-Putin is this and pro-Putin is that. Well, good old Democratic America with 3 Ks said Martin Luther King was communist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But we
May
know
I
what
say
Martin Luther
something?
King was.
Mm-hmm.
We know what Martin Luther King was. So the powers that be tried to dictate the narrative, and then they chose the puppets to go run with it because the power must know something since they got the power. No. Something ain't right. It's up to you to use some type of logic. I don't care how educated it is you are. You have to know sooner or later to sort of find out who's right and find out who's wrong, find out who's for you, find out who's doing what. Don't just take the narrative.
Amen.
We're hearing things from her point of view that should be telling us, look, hold all your opinions. Because from what I see, there's some bad things going over in the Ukraine that black people should not be supporting, but they're going over there fighting for them.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody tell me yesterday that I was pro-Nazi and pro-Putin at the same time. How?
There's so many things that doesn't make sense to me, honestly.
Yes.
Like, and what you just said, if I hope I don't interrupt you, but you just said something where you was like, we should come to a point where we could all communicate, right? Where we should be able to talk. But I think this is like the biggest problem in the whole world, and no matter what nation, what ethnic, what language, people cannot talk and can definitely not listen. They don't listen.
Yeah.
Because they're so ready to give you an answer. Oh no, I got some from this. Okay.
Yeah. And
crazy.
And instead of listening and trying to get to a common place, everybody want to fight and defend their own post and fight it to the full and don't want to listen to anything that anybody else have to say.
Or they only want to hear what they want to hear at that point in time. Maybe they want to debate, or maybe they want to sing along with the choir. But they only going to hear what they want to hear, and they're not going to hear the other side. They're not going to hear neo-Nazis, white nationalists. They're not going to hear that. They're not going to hear Hitler was a Jew. They're not going to hear. They're going to hear the narrative. Martin Luther King Jr. was a communist. Marinate on that.
Yeah,
exactly. Putin is a communist too.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got a couple of people on the phone lines. Want to get to the phone lines. Pete, brother Pete. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good.
PKM Radio, listening audience, panel, morning glow.
Yes, sir.
PKM Radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? You've been listening to what we've been talking about for a minute now. What's on your heart?
I was trying to grasp the conversation. We're not talking about humanity, the confusion amongst humanity.
Well, we got our
worst times.
We
Uh-huh.
got our sister Corinne. She's actually in Germany right now, and we was
Hello.
talking Cologne. I'm sorry, Cologne. I'm sorry, I butchered her name. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
She's actually from in Germany right now, and she's telling us from the viewpoint of what's going on over there in Germany in regards to the whole Russia, Ukraine, and all situations that's going on, and the atmosphere over there. And we get a bird's eye view, on the whole thing. So what's on your heart?
Is she of German ethnicity?
Yeah.
How we say it? Guten Morgen?
Guten Morgen. Yes, exactly. Guten Morgen. Guten
That's all I
Sorgen.
know. You gotta teach us some more while we're in here, okay? Give us some education.
Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
Wow, everybody
Well,
knows a little German. I'm
ich
impressed.
sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's that. I really didn't expect that. Most of respect for you guys for this.
Good deal. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Yeah, any questions about what's going on, man? How do you feel about this whole situation that's going on? She said the atmosphere is the same but yet different. What's on your heart?
Well, we're experiencing man's inhumanity to man, like Whoopi tried to tell us. And then we have the private agendas and concepts and schemes that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
So the narrative that we're given doesn't make sense. It seems like you agitate the situation. And then there are hidden things. There were some statements about some chemical warfare plants over there that
Mm-hmm.
folk were supporting and housing, and now they got to hide that fact. So, it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
If an enemy or adversary is at your front door and threatening to, post up right outside your front door, I would think that you would uh, respond adversely to a potential threat. So, we have to look at the overall scheme of things. And looking at the leadership in the world today as a whole, they're all corrupt. They've all been corrupt. They don't look out for the interests of the masses of the people. Where is their humanity and compassion for the people? And we're subject to their ways and means, and we tend to be the first to suffer with the ill decisions that so many of them make. And it often always involves stealing of resources, power, profit, prestige, and the masses of the people on the planet just want to live. They just want to exist. They want to enjoy life. They want to embrace one another. We often talk about racism, but when you define racism, it's being concerned about your own and taking care of your own. And to some point, we all have that responsibility. Now, prejudice may be something else, but
Mm-hmm.
we're not even hypnotized as a whole anymore by these little non-physical diversions. The masses of the common folk are understanding their humanity, and they have compassion for one another, and they simply want to live. They want to live in peace, in truth, and justice, pursue their happiness and their liberty, maximize their intellectual properties and abilities, and simply enjoy life. So
Mm-hmm.
this is another situation. If we're not careful, a massive diversion and serious chaos can come out of this. And all the individuals who are talking and promoting will sit somewhere safe, well fed, comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and calm, while
Mm-hmm.
innocent ones will be on the front line suffering.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good, good morning, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, sis. What's on your heart? We're talking about we have and I want to make sure I get the sister's name. Colin. Am I saying it
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Corinne. Corinne. Okay. We have
Yeah.
Corinne on the line this morning. I definitely appreciate her being a part of the broadcast. She's actually in Germany.
Good
Uh,
morning.
and I want to know
Mhm.
what you think about what's going on. What's on your heart, Toya?
Yeah. it's unfortunate. Praying for everybody over in Ukraine, but you know, wars have United States got to be what we are. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, you know, way of life. It's unfortunate that we have to go back to it under this reign in 2022. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But I don't know. What can you say in 2022 about someone who's getting burned? You know, how can you be the country next door to destruction, and even if it is okay, be okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm over here right now, and that bothers me to know that the country is in turmoil right now. You know, due to someone's leadership, and I just don't see how we've come so advanced to where we can create telephones to see each other, but we're not advanced enough to talk out or work out things without destroying innocent people. Like that just baffles my mind. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So it's really hard. But the unfortunate part, like with the Corona 2020 and 2021, it's been weird in the air. The atmosphere has been weird these last couple of years. You know, just from going from Corona, which was a war in itself. So that was its own war on humanity with COVID. And you mean to tell me we didn't learn from that invisible disease that was taking people out? That Putin, I should chop his name up. I'm going to call it Putinheimer. You mean to tell me that for all it is,
Mm-hmm.
he still feels the need, like he didn't get it? And now you want to go and attack people because you just didn't, COVID didn't teach you. I mean, I'm just really blown away at some of the things that's going on in our society today after COVID-19. I mean, you would have thought we would have learned. We don't need anything else to come and destroy humans. I mean, I'm blown away. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to be right next door or in the same vicinity,
Excuse me, but
what can you do? What is the atmosphere? What is the feeling of people, you know, going back and forth to work on a daily basis, but still knowing that in 2022 we still have rulers who will use an iron fist and murder tens of thousands of people just to get what they want. Like you know that it's so real. Like how do you process on a daily basis
yeah.
being under those kind of
Mm-hmm.
conditions? Like I don't know. Corona was enough, but a war that's and scary.
You're definitely
Mm-hmm.
right about that. Can I say something to it?
Absolutely.
What you just said, like, you can't comprehend, right? How this is all still going on. We all knowing that war is bad, that all these things are not supposed to be. But on the other hand, we hold it. Like I see another problem here, which is it's just such a big subject right now
Mm-hmm.
that I have a lot of Arab friends as well, and like I have friends from all over the world, and they'd be like, "Oh, so now the West gonna see," you know? And I was like, "How do you, as a Muslim, gonna tell me, right?" And I'm not even that religious. I say, "How do you tell me that you can make this a good thing when a person's dying, no matter where? Like to me, it doesn't matter where, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Yeah, but see, nobody cares when my brother died in Palestine." And I was like, "That's never gonna change, you know. Like people are gonna act like they care, but really we don't care as long as we don't see it."
Mm-hmm. As long as it's not
Be-
in your face.
That's like having, like, if you read something about an accident and you be like, "Oh, that's bad," you know, that's bad, but it's not really touching you until it touches you. So now we have another um, racism problem over here, starting very bad with the Russians and the Germans and all the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
because people are so, I'm sorry, they are just so stupid. They're gonna be like, "Okay, you're Russian now, like we're not gonna serve Russians anymore." What are you talking about? We all grew up together. Like, what are you talking about? You
Mm-hmm.
know? And I cannot just because just because my grandfather did something, I'm not my grandfather. And definitely I'm not my government, you know? I'm not my government, and they are not their government. Everybody has their, like, I think if you have like a political party, you're gonna have your things that you agree to and you don't agree to. Yet you're gonna have to choose from 2 or 3 parties, and still they're not gonna have all you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. And if you come to me as a and you be like, oh, the Germans are all Nazis, right? Because we have our history. I always tell people, listen, my dad is from Austria. If I am, then I'm the closest to what gets to a Nazi, if that's what you call it. But all of y'all are more Nazi than me, because it doesn't matter if you're from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from Palestine, from China. Y'all hate on each other anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They
Wow.
all hate on each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
that
this
makes
is
me.
And this is the Morning Glow. You're listening to the Morning Glow. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We have our sister Corinne. She's actually here talking to us this morning. We're talking about the whole situation that's going on with the Russia and Ukraine and different things of that nature. And she's right there in Germany, so we're getting her perspective as to what the climate is over in Germany about this whole situation and what is really going on. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man, I keep agreeing with what she's saying. You know, the thing is we keep taking these narratives and these talking points of what are fed to us. And she said earlier that there are rumors and fear about chemical weapons. Am I right, Corey?
Yes, definitely right. But that was already before it started.
And see,
Yeah.
you know, we keep thinking, oh man, things got weird with coronavirus. Things got weird with this. No, things got weird at 9/11. Things got weird when 2 planes hit a building and they want us to believe all this one scenario when all the other information adds up to a conspiracy.
Yeah.
They want us to believe weapons of mass destruction. And we said, bomb them back to the Stone Age. Come on, America, let's stick your nose in that business. Good on USA, we need to bring democracy to the world.
Is that Biden talking?
Where are the weapons of mass destruction? See, they keep giving us these talking points, and we keep choosing sides. Like this clown next to me, he choosing sides. Listen, just because Biden wrong don't mean Trump and Bush was right. They just as big a devils. Bush was the one that lied about weapons of mass destruction, homie.
Yeah.
It's birds of the same, it's feathers on the same bird. So if you really listen to what she's saying, that we are clowns to even choose either side. And here you still up here trying to say, what she think about Biden? What she think about Biden? Well, what you think about Trump? What she think about Bush? You see, the thing is they are on the same playing field. They are on 2 opposite sides of their agenda. But us on the regular end, we shouldn't be choosing sides because they're playing their own game. We are the puppets that help make their game successful because we're using their talking points. When our soldiers go and join the military, being patriotic, wanting to fight terrorism and get democracy in Iraq for weapons of mass destruction that don't exist. Was you this adamant about Bush? Was you this much against Bush? Because Biden still ain't did that yet.
Yeah.
Biden ain't did, but and see if you was the biggest sellout I ever seen in my life. But see, I ain't gonna get rude with you. I got something for you later on. Corin, I hate for you to see this, but this is what's wrong with the world.
Yes.
You see this distraction. People take these sides that really don't benefit them either way. They take the sides of 1% people that are fighting for resources around the world and within this country, and they feel comfortable giving their talking points and believing in patriotism, democracy, communism. And they forget all about the fact that weapons of mass destruction were not found. The buildings were demolished in downtown Manhattan, and somebody said, don't investigate it. They are forgetting all these situations, and they still choose to go along with the narrative. If I ain't seen puppets so much in my life. Look, when she said, man, I'm trying to wonder what world am I living in? I feel like I'm in bizarro world sometimes. This is so confusing. I'm like, man, are y'all living are you looking through the same eyes and hearing the same things I'm hearing? Something ain't adding up. Some of this stuff is lies and you can hear it. Two
Yes.
different sides of the story. Somebody got to be lying. Let me find out the truth. Let me find out if we should be supporting Ukraine or Russia. Let me find out. Let me read it from what I'm reading.
How can
I'm
you
only
be
worried
against
about the
a
innocent
country?
people.
Really? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm only
This
worried
is
about
just
the innocent
so
people.
big,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Corey.
I think it's just so big and crazy because people don't get it that it's not like, how can I personally go against talk against another country, first of all, right? So it's this person, just like my government, they're not going to tell me that they did stupid stuff. They're going to make it look like they did all rainbows and flowers everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, as from my point of view of what I've been seeing, even before it happened, it was that there was a big talk in the conspiracy theories chats, right, about the bioweapons in Ukraine, and everybody in the chat was like, "Look, you're gonna hear it, and they're gonna use it, saying that the Russians gonna come and use it against us for them to make a step toward them." So either way, one side is lying, one side is not. But I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna say something happened, and they're gonna jump in, and then it's over. I mean, your president, the United States President Biden, he said, and he keeps on repeating, and I don't like that for some facts. He keeps saying World War III, and he's programming, they program even the NATO, the WHO, all of them talking about the same thing, and it was the same thing with the masks or with the vaccines. And for me, all of that didn't make sense. And just like that, why are they making it so big? Just like the gender stuff, everything that they make big, there's something iffy about it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Leonard?
I'm listening there. Like you said, it's always going to be a debate. But one thing I don't have to debate with anyone is what I'm going to stand for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what nobody told anybody.
Yeah.
I got a brain, like the young lady was speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
If you got now, there's lots of effort to send help to people. Get involved in that if that's what you want to do. I remember when we have the stress issues here and how we all come together as a community to send, whether it be food, clothing, or what have you, needed to people who are in need. That's what it's about. And when you live over here, you have freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You forget about the people who don't, because you think that everybody lives like you. But that's not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There are some places where you can't own property. You simply can't, because the government owns all of it. You can rent it. You never own it.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to understand this world does not run by itself.
Exactly.
Things have to be done. Work has to be put in.
Mm-hmm.
People have to take responsibility. You have to be organized about it. And if you can't tell the difference, okay, dead innocent people are over here, and a guy over here who you think might be okay. Who's struggling with that? Who's struggling with that information?
What was the information?
COVID, and the thing about it is COVID didn't go nowhere. But you know what? I don't want to watch the TV program all day, every day about COVID. But there are other things going on in the world, whether you watching it or not, whether it's on TV or not. There are other things going on in the world, and nothing stops just because you've had enough. So the people that are getting sick are still getting sick. That don't mean that there's going to be a war happening. Exactly. You know, I'm not sure of what the program is that people refer to, but it seems like a lot of chaos. This is not a huge swerve away from the policy of the United States. from many years ago as it relates to the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't just start because of what you saw on television. And I can only tell people because I was not raised to just television wasn't my God. You know what I'm saying? So what men do it, and men have to do better. And if you can't decide which side you're gonna be on, that may be an issue for you. Because there's definitely a side that decent people should be on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many complex arguments you come up with or what have you. Would you like your freedoms taken away? Would you like to be told where you live, where you go, what you eat, all these types of things? You don't see the difference in that than where you live?
Mm-hmm.
These people are fleeing their homes and everything that they had, they've had to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
They are refugees. They don't want war, but they are the casualties of war. And this is what we have to be concerned about. So it's not cool to sit there and say, I don't care nothing about them people dying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like me. They ain't my color.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we send them anything? I ain't got nothing. Look at me. Hey, look at me. Why you looking at them? Look at me.
Yeah. Wow.
See, that's selfishness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you have to get away from that as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and to pretend not to know right from wrong is almost even worse.
Much worse. Much worse. Let me go to Badger.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I might have read the same book. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I got I got one question, and I wanted to say a couple things. Corin.
Yeah.
Over there, do you hear more bad things said about our President Biden or Trump?
I used to hear more bad things about Trump.
Wow.
Biden is like they Biden is, I don't know if you've seen ours, so like they kind of like alike. I have my point of view, but most people would say that Biden is a great president. I don't know, like who am I to judge? First of all,
a great president.
But I think
well,
a person who falls asleep or who forgets what he's saying is not supposed to have a job like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
who's the great president?
She said more people, they talk worse about Trump and say a lot of them feel that Biden is a great president over Trump.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what did she say about what did she?
No.
Don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't you even do that. Because it didn't go the way you wanted to go. Now you want to inject something else. Don't you do that.
So, Corin, I apologize.
That's fine. I can deal with that. No, I'm very open-minded. Like, don't get me wrong.
I asked because some people have a particular thought process, and it's over here in America. You're either Trump or Biden because people want to be separated for some ungodly reason. So I'm a very open-minded person, and the separating tactics drive me insane.
Okay.
So sort of like me, I've been looking at the whole situation. A lot of the world has made fun of Putin, have gave him all kinds of trouble all over the place and things like that. When you talk to the Putin.
Oh, okay.
In the past, a lot of people's always just called him a dictator and all kinds of things like that.
Yeah.
So, like, every time he's turned around, it's just never went good. But if you talk to a lot of the citizens, they never really had a problem with him.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah.
And, looking at the history, looking at the politics, looking at who's involved, who isn't, you've got Trump that was saying that it'd be a good idea. You've got all these other, higher up people that are saying, Well, resources run the world, so let's fight for resources, you know?
I mean, I feel it's like you can always find your truth in whatever position you go in to look
Yeah,
for it, you know?
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I
So,
figured that out because I changed my whole point of view about a lot of things 180. So I'm always open minded to everything. I never stand too much on my opinion because I know I'm just learning by step, you know, like you could tell me something that I never heard before and I'm like, wow, thank you for that knowledge. Like I didn't know. But
well,
what I think is the biggest problem with all of this is people don't understand that when they take a side, you take a side against the other side, which is also just human beings.
That's good. That's good. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
We're just reiterating pretty much the same sentiment.
Hey, speaking to your phone for me, Pete. You're a little bit low, brother. You're a little bit low.
It's making no sense to the common man. Clearly, this is not making any sense. It would seem a lot easier if these fellas want to fight. Well, let's let them get in the room and duke it out. Everybody else can sit and watch. We can pay per view.
Pay per view,
and
yes, sir.
see who wins. We don't have to involve everybody else. It's like the question in the room is at what point are the common folk gonna wake up? The soldiers in Russia, they didn't have to go over there and do nothing. They could have told Putin, all right, player, my aunt, mother, grandmother, cousin, sister, brother, niece, nephew, friend stay in Ukraine. I ain't going over there and doing nothing. You go do it. You so fired up and want to do something, then go handle that, player. And it's not gonna happen. So at what point are the common people gonna wake up and realize the people are more powerful than the people who think they in power?
because the common people have to overcome fear.
This is a question for humanity. No, you're talking to a lady, man, you ain't never seen, don't know, wouldn't know if you saw her, and listen to her sentiment. It's humane, it's kind, it's compassionate, it's just, it's true, right? So clearly, the common human being, the living soul, has more in common along those lines than not. We being led astray by a handful of hooligans that we can usher right on up out of here anytime the masses get ready. We don't have to listen to this foolishness. Biden's so old, if he was to get into a fist fight, man, that man will fall flat on his. They have to help him up. How do you fall while you walking upstairs? I mean, this is ridiculous. You too old to even be up there. Come on, man. And Putin, a trained soldier, trained spy, trained KGB, no martial art. This dude is straight up roughneck dude. If you walk up on him personally, you know, you stand a good chance of getting your feelings hurt. Just the type of guy he seemed to be within himself, not the great leader, just the man we know as Putin. He don't seem like nobody you want to run up on and try to snatch his wallet. Just him himself. He seemed like a rough dude. So come on, this is ridiculous. At some point, we have to realize the truth. We have to embrace reality. And as the common folk, we have to establish our will over the will of a few and bring about what's best for the greater whole.
Absolutely.
So here we are. We have another opportunity. Let your voice be heard and take your proper stance.
Exactly. Tori, you want to tell what's on your heart?
No, I think Pete did everything I done had to say. But no, very right, man. When are we, the people, gonna understand that we're not machines?
Yeah.
You know, I get it. I get fighting for my people. But I ain't gotta go over there and do it. I promise you, step your pinky toe over here on US soil and think you're gonna do something to me. And I'm gonna automatically turn into a soldier. Promise you that.
The pinky toe?
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've been out of this. You know, I got out of the ROTC because I don't like listening to people. That was great. I was like the month. But you're not gonna tell me go do something just because you said do it. I just can't get that concept.
Yeah.
So I'm with Pete Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Putin and the other dude got an issue. You gonna call me for me to get my stuff and go over there and get him, and y'all got an issue. Now, partner, you go ahead and handle it on your own. And when they start coming over here with them guns, like they won't do something, we ready. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the way that they have set this matrix up.
Mm-hmm.
They have set this matrix up for the structure of authority to go in the way that it is. And one of those structures of authority is that we're zombies. And if I say go to war, you go to war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the same concept we think that we only in America do this. The German soldiers do that too. Why do you think they're in the army? For money. Or in the German military? For money.
Mm-hmm.
So this grandiose scheme that we think is only in America, no, this is a global thing they got going on. China people got soldiers in their army, and so does Russia and every place else that is considered to be a developed or a developing country. That's what they have as a part of their structure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not default, but that's what we do. And this is what humans do. We do things because they told us this is life. Join the military. This is life. Do this, do that. But there's no imminent threat, but everybody going to run the army just in case there's war.
Exactly.
I mean, I just don't get it. When you become woke, it's like I can fight for America right here at my doorstep. Why do I have to join organizations and teams and groups? I mean, didn't Baggy just say something about separation? Then you just separate me if I join the military. You're definitely going to separate me if you go to war. You know what I'm saying? So, again, for me, I already don't understand the concept of somebody telling me to do something and I go do it and them can't do it for themselves. That's why I'm not married because I got an issue again. Somebody telling me to do something and they what? So what you gonna do? While I'll go over here and fight him. You know what I mean? So for me, this stuff has already been strange. Only thing I can do still as a whole, again, not to be selfish, but if the world wants to allow themselves to be dictated by so-called constitutional rights and values that forces you to go to war, oh, we're going to draft you and make you go to war. I'm sorry, I can't be involved in things like that. So I'm confused all the way around at the position we are, in the world, not only in America. But I am sorry for those people who get caught up in the power of other humans because that's what this is. These are humans taking the dominion in their power and using it for murder. Don't care. And the rest of the world is just standing back looking at this dude and he ain't bomb Russian house yet. Like I just don't understand why. But I'm definitely praying for I don't know. I don't care if it's a tsunami.
Yeah.
If we humans can't stand up against these people and overthrow people that need to be overthrown, then maybe we need another COVID.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Maybe
Wow.
we need another COVID to shut everything down and get you back in the house again. Because we're still not getting it. But hey, one thing we can do is pray for our leaders. Instead of thinking that they're Superman, we need to pray for them that our higher powers touch their minds and infiltrate their minds to understand that they need to handle their positions with care and not with rage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Having a great conversation this morning. We're talking about the situation that's actually going on in the world, in Ukraine and Russia. And we have our sister from Germany, Corinne. I said your name right, sis. We got her on, and she's joined us. She's joined us this morning from the shores of Germany, and so she's actually talking about it from that standpoint as well. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
Y'all funny, man. Y'all hilarious.
Charles,
Bro.
hey, come on, brother. We're not gonna do that. Let's come on now.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You
Be,
let
be,
somebody
be,
get
be
on
bigger
here.
than that. Be bigger than that. Okay. Anyway, let me go to let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? We're not gonna let you do that, Charles. We're not even gonna let you do that.
Just listening to the conversation, I have no idea what Charles is doing, but because I don't know what's going on, I can't hear anything that he's doing. But I think that Ms. Corinne, like you say, is giving her opinion because one thing you should know about is your opinion. That's what you should know. At least know that. You don't have to know everything about everybody else, but you should at least know yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't understand, and that's why I'm just listening, because at some point it becomes rhetoric, and I wonder how people think things really work, and where were you at when things were so great? I don't have anything to compare that to, so I don't know what people would be reaching for, what they would be expecting. I mean, are they expecting something supernatural to happen? Or do they believe doing nothing is the thing that you should do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is your point? What do you do? What would you do? That's one thing you should know.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Let the gentleman to my left ask his goofy question so he could embarrass himself again. And then I would like to see the rest of my time to the sister Curran, because first off, I think she's really expressing that even on other continents, we have human beings that are thinking just like us. We're
Mm-hmm.
realistic, we're logical, and these things aren't adding up. And it's getting to a point where we're tired of supporting this warmongering and fear mongering and false flags, all this chaos that's going on. We realize now that it's manipulated, and we're not buying it. We're not buying Democrat or Republican. We're not buying democratic and communism and all that stuff there. We're not buying it, because each government system pretty much is doing the same practices under those guises. They're just doing it differently. And as you talk to people that live in these countries, you start finding out, wait a minute, what you are seeing and what you are hearing isn't all the way completely true. So we said that sooner or later we have to find out who we're going to side with and who we need to get out of these positions. But at the same time, we got to find out if the information we're finding out is correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, we might be siding with the wrong people based on the wrong information. That's how chaotic it is. That's how confusing it is. So it takes time for you to actually go back and research and do some understanding. It's hard to relate to these stories and to this research unless it applies to you. It's hard to relate to what happened with the Ukrainians and separating from Russia and the Russian I'm trying to think what they call them, sympathizers in Ukraine. It's hard to understand what's going on with the Chechen Muslims in Russia and that situation, because we're not there. See, they got a whole other situation that's going on that was happening before this that we're talking about now. But all of a sudden now we just getting on board. So we might get the correct information. We might not. Like I said, we don't know who we supposed to be supporting for real. We're only going off of what we're being told.
Mm-hmm.
But I want Charles to ask his question. You know
Hold
what I'm
on.
saying? Again.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to Toussaint right now, because Toussaint been holding on for a while. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Toussaint, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, look, let me let's see, go back to what you usually say, and that's why I don't pull sides, especially when I don't have all the information. What do I know about Ukraine and Russia when I'm thousands of miles away?
Mm-hmm.
There is a good and an evil, and a right and a wrong, and a people that manipulate all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that do people wrong. They fighting everywhere in every continent on the face of the earth. There are people that that suffer in an injustice, and because what here, let me go here. Sometimes I don't know who to pray for. Why do we pick people to pray for? All of a sudden let's pray for the Ukrainians. Okay, for what? Why? Because what? They suffering different from where all of a sudden we're not praying for the people that are right here, right now in the neighborhood. that is tore up from the floor up, that we pull our concerns all of a sudden to the loudest cry that comes from social media or news outlets. All of a sudden, we drop the latest news for the newest news. And then we go to praying and crying out and jumping on bandwagons and picking sides. I don't have a side. You know what I gotta do?
What's that?
I gotta take care of my household.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pay my bills.
Come on.
I gotta go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take care of me before I gotta put all my concerns and my efforts on somebody else that I don't have a clue of what the heck I'm talking about.
Wow. Wow. That's
I'm
good.
just saying.
Mary, I know you're there, Mary. I see you there, sweet, but you can't comment on this, so that's why I'm not coming to you. I see you there, and good morning to you. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm well, but what's the topic? I don't even know what the topic is.
Well, we're talking about situation. A lot of times you say that topics like this you can't comment on. We are actually talking about the Russia and the Ukraine situation that's going on right now. And we have our sister Corinne. She's actually in Germany. She lives in Germany. She's giving it from her perspective of what's going on that side in regards to that. Do you want to comment on that?
I honestly, not gonna lie to you, don't know what's going on over there. I think as far away from it as I can. I don't know. I know minor details of things that are going on. Nothing confidential.
Okay.
But minor details like normal media. As far as the military side, there's nothing really going on. I mean, we got people moving where they need to move, but there's nothing going on to where it's like there's gonna be a war. Like no, we're really chilling. So I don't have any tea to give anybody. Not that I could if I did, but I really don't have any.
Okay.
I don't even have anything to tell y'all. I really don't know what's going on.
I got you. Okay. I just didn't want you to think I was not acknowledging the fact that you was there. Let me see. Okay. Let me go back to Charles. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man. You get one side sometime, bro. But check it out. What do Corinne? What do the German people think of NATO?
Well, the majority, they think it's the greatest thing. But like to me, how can I say? Like I cannot talk for all of them because I just know, like from my circle, they are very much about the news, the media.
Yeah.
So if I tell them, okay, but there's a fact you can read it on the site of NATO, they would not do the work to just go on the site and look for it. Instead, they would just rather take things out of content and just use it in their benefit to have a conversation with somebody else. And that's what to me personally makes me worried the most, because you cannot talk anymore. I got very lonely those last 2 years because people yes, it's just sad.
So if you speak against NATO, you speak against NATO.
No, I don't
if
speak
you
against
speak
NATO.
against NATO, you are. I said if you do. I'm asking a question. If you do speak against NATO, then people will look at you in a bad way, correct?
I could just tell you how it was like just a couple of days ago with my mother. Like she was crying. She thinks I'm totally brainwashed and I don't see what's going on. Where on my point, I'll be like, to me, every person that loses his life over some nothing is a lost soul for no reason. No matter where in the world. I seen just like 1 million people fleeing in some part of Africa. I see all these things with the kids that just got missing. Like this Ukraine thing is not just people fleeing. They come here. You know what's going on over here? They already talking about make sure your kids are all right, make sure your kids are with you, because there's people out there who's gonna look for human trafficking. And it's really like, it's so
Right.
much things rolling with it that people don't want to see. Yes, I understand all of this going on, but you don't see that people, even though we all think the same and all want peace, there's people who will take the smallest thing out of you if they can get it, just for their
Mhm.
own profit.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if it's not that person, it's going to be the next person. So it's always good to say, we want peace, but I wouldn't want to be a politician, because they cannot just make a move. They have all these people around them, and then they have probably two main persons we don't even know that's gonna pull the strings.
Wow. Rico, read this right here. This is Public Citizen.
Lots of Republicans have fallen prey to Russian propaganda. Ask Charles, when was the last time NATO invaded Russia? Yup, never.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
can I answer that question? Can I answer that? He asked me a
Go
question.
ahead. Go ahead.
They've never invaded Russia, but the thing is that Russia, and I'm not for either side, like I said, but a fact is a fact. You can't get mad at a fact.
Rico, you're a
Putin is
little
doing this
brother.
because he don't want. Putin is doing this. Here we go. I'm talking. Putin is doing this because he don't want NATO on his border. That's why he's doing it. You understand? We know a few years ago, Germany was told not to buy oil from Russia. They did.
Hmm.
Biden opened up the pipeline for Russia to go and close ours down. So we know both sides are wrong. We know both
Hmm.
sides are wrong, right? So the thing is that you all are scared to point out facts on both sides. You just want to point out one side. So that's the
And and
weird
and,
part that I got
and,
with you guys. 'Cause any other
and,
time,
and
any other
if
time you
that
guys,
if that be the case, Charles, I guess you're the balancing it, because you certainly pointing out the other side. But let me go to Friday. Let me go to Friday. Hold
I
on,
just
brother.
said
Let me go
both
to Friday.
sides. I just
Friday. Good morning, Friday. How you doing this morning?
How you doing?
They're doing good. We're talking about the whole situation that's going on, the war situation that's going on in Ukraine and Russia, and we have our sister Corinne. She's actually on the line with us. She actually lives in Germany, and she's there in Germany, and she's telling us her perspective. But what do you think about this whole situation that's going on, this whole war situation that's going on right now?
Um, I feel that it is a tragedy for the individuals who are just trying to live. Much like it would be a tragedy anywhere else, and has been a tragedy everywhere else for people that's just trying to live. When the temper tantrums of people in political authority starts to affect and invade the livelihoods of the people in a way where mass destruction is happening around them. It is something that many of um, our lineage understands, as it's happened on U.S. soil, although it was not classified as such. Um, and often swept under the rug when you have entire ecosystems and economy systems ran into the ground. Um, you know, so my heart goes out to the individuals trying to make sense of it all and keep their family safe, and not knowing if pieces of buildings are going to fall on them because of an explosion. But from I guess, the outer realm of it, from a political standpoint, um, it's challenging because we've been so far removed from war and proximity to the United States that I think that now it's just striking a different chord amongst people, because some people are seeing the possibility of it being able to happen here in the US. But as
Mm-hmm.
far as between Russia and Ukraine, it does challenge some of the narratives that has been had over time, in terms of, what is the purpose of NATO to a certain extent, how much reach are there to have, and ultimately who's responsible, right? Because everybody looks to the United States to come in and be Big Papa, to come, have some reckoning effect.
Did you say Big Papa? Did you say Big Papa?
Yes, I did. to come have some reckoning effect, but to help and save other people, which to a degree, yeah, that should happen, but at our loss. So it's like if we don't do anything, as one of the considered greatest nations, then it's like, oh, shame on you guys. So it's a very fickle and sticky situation at the same time. But all in all, my heart goes out to individuals that's just trying to live their lives, that's caught in the middle of it all.
Exactly. Well, I'm looking at the clock, man, and we got it's almost 10 after. And everybody made sure they turned the move the clock forward, right? Everybody move the clock forward. I want to make sure y'all did that. Y'all mess around and gonna end up being late or early or whatever. It's gonna be something. But I want to go to the topic of the day. Hold on, we get Corinne back in here. Okay, I think she's turning on her video. I want to go to the topic of the day, and I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm gonna ask. Let me see here, Rico. While I do that, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm having a finger malfunction. First off, man, Friday tell VP what's up, man. We ain't seen him or heard from him in a while, and man, we really have to dig deep down inside and understand what we're supporting. Friday said something big. There's some destruction going on over there. There's people dying on both sides. They following the orders. Listen to what I just said. They are following the orders of a leader on both sides.
Yeah.
They fighting, killing,
following
orders. Now, they have a choice. They could either go AWOL, or they could be patriotic, or they could do it for whatever reason, But the thing is we have to look deep down inside and understand that some of the weapons that are being supplied are being paid for with our tax dollars. So that is the reason why America should, black and white Americans, we don't want to just make this a racism thing. The bigger picture is we do have to pay attention to what our money is being invested in.
Yeah.
The reason why I want to be aware and I'm doing so much research is because if I do have a comment or if I do have some type of support, I want to make sure I'm supporting the right side. To me, both sides may have things that I don't agree with.
Absolutely.
So I think about the javelins that are coming from here. My tax dollars pay for them. But if there happens to be white nationalists and neo-Nazis that are trying to take a stronghold in Ukraine, I don't want my tax dollars paying for that. If that's not the case, and it's something totally different, and they're just being, invaded, and that's propaganda, then I do want my tax dollars to be paid for. But I do want to know that I'm supporting the right cause, whether it's with my opinion or whether it's with my dollar. Because I'm going to be voting on a person sooner or later that's going to be actually voting to support one or other of these sides. If we had went in the direction that Trump wanted us to, we would be supporting Putin.
Yeah.
Because he supported Putin over his own intelligence.
Exactly.
The president of the United States. So now whose side we on?
Wow.
America.
Wow. Good deal. Good deal. We're going to go to our topic for today. I think, Badger, you got something real quick before we go to our topic for today?
Yeah. I was sitting here thinking, what's going on over there. And what Americans would think if, let's say Alaska decided to be their own country. Would our American government say that we need to go attack them, or Texas became their own country to make sure they get those resources? Would that be acceptable?
Wow. Good question. Very good question. Our topic for the day.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I know we're going. I'm sorry. I just really this came and I want to say something really quickly, and I know we're going to the next topic. But what Badger's saying that made me think about with all the support that we are giving, and it's a very tragic and heartfelt situation. Why we didn't give a fraction of that support to Puerto Rico, which is considered a territory for the United States when they were in devastation. Those are the things that just make, or even Haiti for that example, it just makes me think about, you know, what are we really doing?
Mm-hmm.
Can I give an answer to that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm just from this little country in Germany, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, why don't we concern about the other stuff? Is because they're not pushing it too much.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making it the narrative. They don't want it to be the narrative. They just want you to see and feel what they want you to feel. That's how I feel, at least.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I felt the same way when we had this crisis with the Arabs coming over here in 2015. It was crazy, and people didn't want them here. It was like people was like, "Oh, the Arabs coming, we don't want them here." And now they, on the other hand, they say, "Oh my God, look what's happening in the Ukraine." I don't know if that's just them being honest, and it's a good thing for them being honest, at least,
Yeah.
or if it's just like, "Wow, how can you make such a difference?" Because at the end of the day, if it was Adam and Eve, or if we come from the monkeys, I don't know, but it was just two of them first.
Mm-hmm.
So we all come from, like, we one human race, no matter where we're from.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue into our topic for today. Let me do this right here. Let me put this up. And you're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates. This is the Morning Glow. And what we're asking now, we're going to go to our topic for today. And the topic for today is this: what is inner hate? What is inner hate? You can give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Rico, what is inner hate?
To me, something very simple. When you really just don't believe you are capable of doing anything that the average person can do. You don't believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually settle for, you know what, man, I can't be great. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
When you handicapping yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
To a certain extent, you know what I'm saying, that's self-hate, because you know you're limiting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't coming from the outside. Now that can be from trauma. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is something that causes that.
Yeah.
People aren't born just thinking, you know what, man, I can't accomplish what everybody else does in life. I can't get up on my 2 feet and walk.
Yeah.
You know, most times when you come into this world, you watch babies, as babies start becoming aware, they watch people around them moving around and walking and running, and they start wanting to play and run, and they kicking them legs. They can't wait till they can get down and walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if it ever gets to a point where you say, "Oh man, I don't even feel like walking today,"
Mm-hmm.
you start to hate yourself. And you know, it can be subconscious. It can cause you to get 700 or 800 pounds.
Yep. Easy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Corinne, what is inner hate?
I feel like inner hate is when you don't understand that you lie to yourself so much that you have to forgive yourself for all the lies you're telling yourself. That's what I think is inner hate, because we tend to not forgive ourselves. So yeah.
Absolutely. Tori, you want to say, what do you say to that? What is inner hate?
I'm sorry, you said what is inner?
Yes.
Hate?
Inner hate. Yes.
I mean, I guess that's a hate from within.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how anything starts. That's how it turns into an action from the inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you a baby, yeah, you might smack somebody and don't know, but you still know how to control them arms. Yeah, but when you're an adult, that's where it comes from the inside.
Absolutely.
Because you're gonna be hateful, it's gonna start from the inner. So if you got an inner hate anyway for yourself, mankind, of course you're gonna hate other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have no regard for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
A lot of people have this inner hate. Some men secretly hate women, don't even know it. You know.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And when we find ourselves in a situation, and God had to really show me about this, especially with my attitude, you know, being from New York, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you love humans until they steal from you, then you want to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You love humans, or you love this person to make kids with them, but as soon as they don't do what you want them to do, then you can't stand them, you want to divorce them, you want them to die, you use all this energy, you know what I'm saying? So God had to really talk to me about humans. You know what I'm saying? About my true love for humans. And if I truly love humans, that means no matter what you do, I will never wish dead upon you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I will automatically result in prayer or try to be the most, you know what I'm saying, loving, compassionate person that's trying to deal with you and get you to see my point of view. But all that anger and those things, you don't do that
Animosity.
because
Yeah.
that's the inner hate. You secretly you cool with somebody doing that to you if you're doing it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But that inner hate is sometimes what fuels us, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you were young and people tease you, that inner hate that you got, that sometimes that fuels you to be the very person that you turn out to be at a certain age. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But the tricky thing is, if you don't have a God stage in you, then
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be left like these Putins and these folks around here right now that's willing to cause mass destruction and murder people,
Yeah.
innocent people,
Mm-hmm.
and say that it's a casualty of war because you don't have no gauge on
Mm-hmm.
how you feel about people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh man, I'm great. Good morning. Good morning.
Bishop, we asking the question, what is inner hate? What is inner hate?
Well, I think Toya said something pretty good. But when Rico and everyone else spoke as it relates, I view inner hate as a person being so much against themselves because they don't live up to the expectations of others. They're not walking in someone else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example of someone having inner hate is the fact that he hates the color, he or she hates the color of their skin, so they bleach it because they want to be of a lighter complexion.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it can be a very wide spectrum when you got, I say blacks hating blacks.
Mm-hmm.
That that can fall in line with inner hate because I hate being this color because I don't look like that man and I don't have the same privileges of that person. So inner hate is broad, and so I appreciate the comments that everybody made.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, these are our opinions.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't want
Absolutely.
nobody to get mad and you said no, this is my opinion, that's yours. Let's voice our opinions and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
So
that's good.
appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, this is interesting. It's very interesting. The responses that we're getting out of this thing. Don't necessarily know that that's the direction I thought we was gonna go in, but hey, it is what it is. Charles, what is inner hate?
Inner hate. I guess I like to answer what whoever that was ahead of me said,
Bishop.
especially about the skin bleaching. Bishop, especially about the skin bleaching. Um, but would that be exterior hate too? But either way it goes, inner hate to me is, man, if you don't like yourself, maybe like your weight or your size or your height, um, and you don't like it, and you instead of trying to change it, you just keep going through things.
Mm-hmm.
That's one part of inner hate. Another part of inner hate, as if it's for the aspect of a white person or a black person or a Spanish person or those type people, um, for themselves not to like when black folks don't like what they. All right, let me say it this way. All right, I've had white people tell me they don't like that their ancestors had slavery, had slaves, or
Mm-hmm.
was involved with slavery, when in fact they probably didn't even know that. They never owned slaves. They were probably one of the poorest of the poor white people. But their inner hate for themselves in that way directed them to not like that about them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Just like some black people who don't like what is that? Remember those movies that were out when people played a different color? What was it called? Passing ass or passing? Is that the word? Passing ass? Passing as white or something like that? You get what I'm trying to say? All right, when black people tried to play as they were white, if they were light skinned, fair skinned black people, and they tried to play like they were white, or they tried to live as a white person.
Was that a movie or a
This is the truth.
documentary?
No, this is the truth too. It's both.
I mean, what I'm
It's
saying, a documentary. Was it like a documentary on these people that did that? Okay, I think I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about. I think it is Passing as White or something like that.
that's it. You're right. You just said it. Passing as white.
But you got to think about it like this. There was another book out, and I think that's the inner hate right there. That like passing as white is an inner hate, even if you're trying to get over on somebody. It's
Well,
still an inner hate.
that might have been a tactic they had to use to achieve their goal at that time. I mean, because I actually know some black people that pass for white. They don't try to, but when they go on different jobs, the white people that work with them assume they are. And man, she
Right.
tells you, man, you hear some stories and you hear
I've
some
had
comments. She said, man, if y'all could hear what I hear, she said, when they find out that I'm black, they leave me alone because they know the things that they said to me.
right, and then but it's still like if a person is trying to do it, makes it inner hate. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But if it was just mistakenly done, it's not. But what about if a person like, and if it's an advantage thing to me, I still think it's an inner hate thing too. You get what I'm saying? Like taking advantage of somebody and making them think that you're away when you're not. Like the dude who wrote the book, he was Indian or something like that, and he wrote the book about how he got into black colleges by the HBCU by tricking them. There's a book out. He's the same. Matter of fact, he's the same heritage as Kamala Harris, Indian, but he looks black as a black American, but he wasn't. But he passed on as a black American just so he can get scholarships to HBCUs and stuff like that. But is that an inner hate or is that just him taking advantage of somebody? What you think, Rico? I don't know.
I'm
But I
proud of
think
you on that.
the
Give your input on that. What you think inner hate is?
Well, I think inner hate is
he back.
um aligning or merging with a anger. I think, hate is a byproduct of anger. So it could be an anger with what you presume to be a truth. So becoming in alignment with the anger of what you presume to be a truth. So this could be, I know, right, that certain behaviors renders certain reactions by participation of history, right? So that truth for me in knowing that produces anger. Now, unchecked, that anger can then manifest as hate, right? And then so we'll use, I feel like that's where we get the common terminology of like, oh, I hate what they're doing to inner cities, or I hate what they're doing, so it's an inner agreement to what a perceived truth is that manifests as hate because it's aligned with anger. And
Mhm.
so that could be because I feel that my truth is my skin is too dark. Or it could be that I feel as though that there's a truth of a certain thing that then makes me angry. So the not dealing with what the realistic or the actual truth is to that anger was what produces that hate that either lives internally because I never speak on it, or
Hmm.
comes out in my actions because I never speak on it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. No, Rico, you good, brother. Let me go to go on phone line. Tucson. Tucson, you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
What
I looked at that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
what is inner hate? And Miriam, coming to you next. What is inner hate?
Tell me if this makes sense.
Uh
This is
oh.
my
Uh oh.
echo. You got echo. um, suppressed emotions without any outside influence.
Mm,
Let me tell you why I say that. There are some people that say they have this inner peace,
yeah.
and you can't disturb it, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people that walk around here with inner hate. They got nothing to do with you. They just jump, they just look for reasons to act on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It don't come from nobody else. It's what's in their heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there. It exists.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, we all of us have a level of it based on our past experiences. There are some people that you can tell when their inner hate pops up because they flare off on different
Mm.
subjects. They
Good.
go slap off.
Yeah.
I mean, you be like, where did that come from? Let me cut them off because they have this thing that they live with every day, and it's just this part. It's a part of them, and you can't you can love them to death, and you'll die trying because it's not from the outside; it's in them.
Yeah.
And they just hate because you matter of fact, let me throw this out and I'll shut my mouth. The white supremacists, why do they hate black folks or gays, lesbians, or the Klan? They just hate a person. They pick a reason why they don't look like them. They desire to have a superiorism about themselves. I don't even know if that's a word.
You just made it
They
one,
look
brother.
in the mirror. Yeah, I make up words, They look in the mirror and look for reasons why they desire to have a desire to make themselves feel better. But it causes them to hate everybody else. Ain't that something?
Exactly. Mary, coming to you, Mary, what is inner hate? What is inner hate, Mary?
Well, I'll tell you right now, you came to me live, I ain't got nothing to say. All right, everybody done said.
They done said your part already.
Say, and you do this every time I got something to say. You come to me last.
Oh Lord, why I got to do better. I got to do better. Look at, I got to do better.
We can't talk about what is self-hate without talking about what is self-love. We can't stay on the negative and not talk about no positive. You can't talk about a problem without no solution.
Yeah.
Okay? We're talking about Ukraine and everything, but we're not saying what to do to fix it. That's the issue. So okay, cool. We know what self-hate is. We beat the dead horse. What's self-love? How do we love ourselves? Because if we can talk about self-hate, okay, we identify with it. Cool.
Okay, let me do this, Mary. Let me do this. And Mary, talk directly into your phone because you're just a little bit low. We can hear you, but just a little bit low. So talk directly into your phone for me. Let me ask you this question. Is there such an animal as you said self-love? Is there such an animal of loving yourself too much?
Animal as what now?
Is there such an animal as loving yourself too much?
Being conceited? There's a word for that.
Some would say that. Yeah. Okay. That mirror is sharp as a razor blade, boy. She's sharp as a razor blade. Rico, I see you shake your head. What's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, she's telling the truth, man. But I want to apologize because I sort of took this in the wrong direction. Inner hate doesn't have to be self-hate. Inner hate is something that you could have so deep inside towards something else that you just don't let people know about. And so I went in that direction of self-hate because I was just thinking off the fly, and sometimes we associate words too easily. That's sort of convenient and quick to think like that. But when I have to go in another direction with it now, because with inner hate, you can actually hate cotton. Remember you asked that question, if somebody offered to pay you $900 an hour to pick cotton, would you do it? Was it $900 an hour?
Yes.
And some people said, no, I would not pick that cotton for $900 an hour. Why? I just that's inner hate. You just don't know what it is, but it's just something about that cotton that just make you hate it when you see it.
Yeah.
Not when it's in your blue jeans, and not when it's in your shirts, not when it's in your pants, not when it's on the Q-tip.
Yeah.
You're doing whatever you need with that. But just the idea of picking it. For some reason, something deep down inside of you just makes you just say, ugh. That's a different type of inner hate than self-hate.
Absolutely.
That's not you hating yourself. That's you hating the reminder that cotton gives you of what people did to your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deep down hate.
Yeah.
I got a deep down hate like that for certain things that I just won't tolerate. And it's not a self-hate, and it's not an envy thing. Like, see, sometimes people can have inner hate for somebody else because they envy what they have and what they have become. They envy their success. They envy their attention. That's what you got a lot of going on right now. People envy their attention, or maybe they envy the power of control that you have. So they put narratives out there. And now we have this inner hate for these people that we really don't know anything about.
Exactly. Let me go to we got Curtis on the line. I want to go to Curtis and Toya with a T. I'm coming to you next. Kurt, what's on your heart? What's on your heart, love? Good morning, Kurt. How you doing this morning?
Hey, morning, brother. Morning, brothers and sisters.
Hey.
Man, y'all forgive me, man. They prescribed me a new med, and I took that thing before I went to bed last night, man. That thing just, ooh, buddy. Lord have mercy. But what's going on, family? How y'all doing?
So basically what you're saying, you slept real good.
Well, I slept real good, but I ain't mean to sleep like that, huh?
I got it. Yes, sir.
I gotta ask. If I take the pills down here, make sure they put the right thing on the prescription bottle, man.
So look, something ain't right. But Kurt, what is inner hate? What is inner hate, Kurt?
Well, inner hate is it's a term that is used in trauma-informed care in certain situations. In most situations, it actually comes up when you speak it in terms of trauma-informed care. But before I even go into it, let me say this. Mariam, thank you, because I sleep a little more comfortable knowing that you somewhere holding the wheel, somewhere making some decisions, somewhere carrying out a mission. I think, Nisi, I thank you with all my heart. But it's something that I've worked on with my kids over the years through teaching them their history and where they come from and what I know about our family's travel and things of that nature, so that they would not develop that level of inner hate for not only themselves but for their man. You know what I mean? Their humanity. Certain things have been done to us that have forced us in a position to have a certain level of extreme inner hate towards each other. It's deep, man. It's like everybody said, man, and Mariam said it. Full stop and tilt. Let's talk about inner love, because that is pretty much where you normally go when you're in a trauma-informed care type situation.
Good deal.
That's what specifically trying to move a given participant to.
Yeah.
You're trying to move them inner hate to recognizing what is it about you that you should love.
Absolutely. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. What is inner hate and how dangerous can it be?
Oh yeah, I mean, hate is no good. Hate is metaphor. Hate is a seed that sometimes can grow uncontrollable, and I don't think we understand that we train ourselves when we accept to hate something. And this is why we really gotta watch saying and feeling like, oh, I hate taxes, I hate red lights or whatever. You know what I mean? So taking that and focusing on an inward type of ability, and I'll say being a woman and being molested. You can hate sex. You can hate men. You can hate certain things in society, and that can cause you to be what they call us angry black women sometimes. There's just different things that hate can make us. You know what I'm saying? And let's flip it. Look at the hate that some black people have for white people or other races. You know what I'm saying? That's unused energy. Some of us got hate for ex-baby mothers and baby fathers, but this is someone that we once played with in the most intimate setting. And we hate them. But do we understand that that is a choice? You have to be allowed. You have to allow yourself to hate someone like that.
Yeah.
You have to allow yourself to say, you know what? If you was to be on fire, I wouldn't spit on you. Right? And you can talk it, and after 10 years, let me tell you something. You're going to wind up finding out that you got a seed, and it shows, and you might not see it. But you might wind up being a little bit bitter. Sometimes maybe sarcastic. It causes different things in us, and people be like, I don't know how I like really, that person leave a kind of bad taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see this hatred inside of them, regardless of what it's for,
yeah,
it's not good. You know what I'm saying? It's contagious. It's like a cancer sometimes, and it spreads. You know what I'm saying? So certain times when we find ourselves finding things 9 times out of 10 that we dislike or we despise, we got to be real careful not letting it be a hate.
Exactly.
Right? Because sometimes it can take root and be a lot different in us while we're thinking we hate another thing and you hating yourself.
That's good. That's good. Rosalind, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, kings and queens. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We're asking a question. What is inner hate and how much of a cancer can it be?
Oh wow. I do a lot. I do a lot of life coaching, and I had a client once. We got to the point where she was contemplating suicide, and I asked her why. Why do you not want to live? She was like, well, I never finished school. I never went to college. I never have other kids. I never get married. And I'm like, these are things that you can change. Well, in the course of all that, just saying one of her friends would get pregnant or one of her friends would finish college, her whole demeanor, her whole action would change because her friends was doing all this successful stuff and she wasn't. It caused her to inner hate her friends, right? So even though she was contemplating suicide, which I thought was crazy, her inner hate would cause her to per se show jealousy or envious toward the people that she loves so much. So to my opinion is, it's more of like jealousy and envious, and it could be a dangerous thing. I wouldn't want nobody around my kids. Just say if you don't have kids and you come around me and I pick up a vibe that you can't have kids and inside is killing you. I wouldn't want you around my newborn because that inner hate will cause you to do things to my newborn that's not godly.
Absolutely.
So it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, and you have to pay attention to people like that. People like that, they have to be I call it the accordingly section. I place people under different categories because you have to treat people accordingly these days. You have to pay attention to their conversations, to their actions, and etc.
That's good. That's good. That's real good. Corin, what's on your heart? Talk to me.
What's on my heart? I really have a question for you guys, okay? Because I feel like is it really that bad in the States with the racism?
Oh Lord Jesus, yes.
No, like I'm really curious because
yes.
I see, like, over here I can just see it on Facebook when they post something or whatever, and I feel like, how are we in 2022 and have not learned, like, through all out these years? And what is it in your opinion that could help this issue?
I'm gonna take my first stab at that, and I'm gonna say, sad as it is, a lot of the a certain generation have to die off. A lot of them have to die off because as long as they live, it's not gonna die in them. That hate and that racism that they carry, it'll never die in them. It'll be covered up. They can cover it up. They can mask it, but it until they die off, until they're gone away, it'll never really leave. I don't think, because they've been groomed in that and they've lived in that, and sad enough, the reality is that's all they know, and they're not, and a lot of people are not open to try something different, something new.
Yeah, just
as
make
good
that
as
step.
as good as it may be, or as good as it may be for them, if they tried it, they're not going to. they're not going to. Anybody else want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, man. First off, man, let me say this. I love that she asked that question, because if you are observing and really paying attention, it really goes back to show you what she was saying earlier. We are on this planet, but we really don't understand what the common man is going through. We only see it from a bird's eye view of what the media tells us. So she asked her, and you know what is shocking to hear somebody say, is that really going on in America? So, you know, think about that. If she really doesn't know what we're going through over here, how much do we know about what's going on in the European countries, in Africa, besides what's being told us? So it goes back to what she was saying earlier, man. And I hope people get this mental revolution to start actually using more logic and understanding that it's bigger than what this tube puts out.
Yes.
It's way bigger than that. Now, I love that she asked that question, because some people probably assume that everybody knows about racism in America.
Yeah.
No, everybody does it. They think that America is the great place to be. They believe the propaganda. And they think America is heaven on earth to a certain extent, and we should be happy. But then after they get here and they start finding out that they'll put a knee on your neck and kill you because there's some inner hate within you, so bad about black people that it ended up spilling out. He had a lot of inner hate in him towards black people. Maybe it was sexual. Who knows what it was, his hang up toward.
Can I have another question?
And so I'm glad she asked that question. But you really want to know why it's still going on? Because it was so profitable and successful. That who wants to give up all this money, all these things, all this power and all these resources and all this military that we built to make America off the back of racism and slavery? Who wants to sacrifice and pay some money back and hold themselves accountable for all the riches and the wealth that they have right now, built in this little quick 300 years that made them the most powerful country on this planet? Who want to give up? It was too successful. It worked, and we love success. Human beings love success. So the reason why it's going, it ain't gonna matter who die off, as long as people value money.
Yeah, I'm so right about that.
And Corinne, hold your next question just for a second.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, but I will have to go. Like, I'll have to go to work.
Oh,
but thank you so much for your time and your influence and your words. Like, you made my day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Hold on, Badge, you want to ask her something before she get off?
No, I was just wanting to speak on the topic.
Okay, hold on one second.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye. Peace.
Thank you very much. Come back and see us.
All right, definitely.
All right, good deal. Go ahead, Badger.
Well, somebody else want to say something?
Leonard, you wanted to say something?
No, that was me, Raheem.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, I'm in a play right now. I'm playing Kenyatta Shakur. And he has that basically lines into what Rico just said. He has a line that says greed and corruption is ignoring the basic human struggle, which ignores the basic human need. It's negligence. And when I said the line, you know how you say a line and then you get back to your, you get back off to yourself. You start analyzing what's being said. And Rico hit something on point, man. It's too much money involved in keeping the hate on the table. They make more money. See, they'll make more money keeping us divided than they'll ever make keeping us together. Because see, keeping us together, that basically means that, okay, Mr. Joe, who is white, and me, who is black, who live in the same community, if I need, Mr. Joe will automatically hand to me instead of me having to go to the store and get a credit, for example. You know what I mean? I think the world, I'll just end it with this. I think the world is ignoring one of the most basic scriptures that God has put for man to guide himself and to stay within due bounds. And that scripture is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Absolutely.
I think we done forgot about that scripture.
Absolutely. Badger, I think you had a comment or something, Badger. What's on your heart, brother? Don't want to skip
you. With the with the topic that we're having right now, it's something that's always like that I try to talk about or touch on quite frequently. Um, is so many people seem to hold on to this inner hate that it causes a lot of confusion and a lot of separation when it comes to to getting along.
Mm-hmm.
People have these problems with word terminologies like white supremacy or just all kinds of what view as wild things instead of just understanding where another human being's coming from and why they think the way that they think. That it's with all the things I've experienced in my life, I learned not to hate it. I learned to appreciate it and say thank you for it. Because it taught me, I looked at it in the point of view of how not to be hateful, how not to be, and I make mistakes. I can be hateful sometimes. But as soon as I realize it, I work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that is taking responsibility for your choices in life, for your actions. And it's a whole different responsibility of accepting the fact that, yes, I am upset and I am angry over this concept of what was done, what was said, and so on and so on, irregardless of what it's about. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that like always baffled me is the concept of I'm going to be angry and frustrated at this situation because of this is what was done to my ancestors and all these other things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, when it comes to ancestors, what was done to my native people, to the Native Americans, I, I have every right to be angry and upset and all kinds of things. The stuff that's happening still today.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
accept that it was done in the past. I accept that I'm angry about it and I'm hateful over it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
However, I'm going to use that as a tool to fuel my activism in putting out the knowledge to help other people realize that votes do matter, that being different is okay and acceptable. It doesn't matter how much a person hates you, that's them. Not everyone will.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be out there in this life. So, kind of, I guess, the return question to our topic is how much longer are you going to let that hatred control you
Mm-hmm.
before you finally walk in light?
That's good. That's good. Willa,
Hey, Raheem. Good
good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Willa, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. Good morning, Globe team.
Good.
This is a wonderful topic that we having this morning, and I just want to say that scripture that God gives us in order to prepare us for this hatred that's in the world. You could go to Ephesians chapter 6, and
Mm-hmm.
starting at verse 10, it tells you that He won't have us to be ignorant in what we face.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether we believe it or not, it is a spiritual world out here. And you know the enemy was kicked out of heaven and took a third of the angels with him. So, and our bodies are nothing but dwelling places. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we allow them to dwell within us. And sometimes I got this one example. I always like to give something that I have myself been approached with. I got a sister. She's in her 60s now, and almost her whole life, she has been angry. And no matter what you do, we always say, well, she always misery loves company. But I talked to my sister one day, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes. My sister is I want to say, she's different. She's handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
She was born with her arms were short, but she had surgery where it kind of pulled her arms out a little bit. And she's not an ugly young lady. But my sister told me, and she asked me,
She said, Mona, did you ever have to pay anybody to be your friend or to sleep with you or to have a man? Did you ever have to do anything different than what you're doing? And when she said, I understood. You know, she hated the fact that she was handicapped. You know, even though she had a baby, even though she worked a job, it didn't stop her. But she hated the fact that she was different, and I understood.
Wow.
So I understood that inner hate that she had, and I understand sometimes her being angry the way she is.
Wow.
So that's my
wow.
opinion.
That's a lot. That's deep there. That's deep. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
I was so glad you came to me because I've been burning with this thing for a while. There were some people that was terrified because of this giant. I'm telling you a little short story. I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. Along came a little fella out of the field, and he was actually working for a fella called Saul. And he finally, speed the story up, killed the giant, appeased the king so much, he said, you could have my daughter. Now, watch this now. David's working for Saul. He's serving Saul. He's doing as far as whatever David does, it helps Saul build his kingdom. But one day, as they came back from battle, the women start singing. Saul killed his thousands, and David killed his 10,000. And that made Saul just as mad as he possibly could be. Pride.
Come on. Come on.
And arrogance that we try to hide comes out. I don't know if this has anything to do with inner hate, but every day after that day, the women start singing. He despised David to the core. I'm just saying.
Wow. Wow. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're asking a question. What is inner hate? What is inner hate, Cassandra?
Well, I mean, it's when you yourself are like, some people are self-destructive when they have inner hate. And when I say self-destructive, I mean they get on drugs, alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Because there's something inside of them, or something has traumatized them to the point that they hate themselves. And I mean, I've been there. You know, when I was younger, I was there. I had a self-hatred, which made me reckless. I didn't care. I will, you know, if you kill me, fine. That was my mentality. That's self-hate. So, you know, that's, to me, that's what it is.
Wow. Wow. Friday, what's on your heart?
Well, first I'd like to start with, I'm going to do a little commercial. I'm writing a porn book, y'all. I want y'all to get it when it comes out later this year. And I know y'all already like, ooh, porn. But it's Perverted Our Real Nakedness is what it stands for. And the reason why it's titled that is to the point of what we're talking about today. And I think that we don't really spend enough time. Solutions are good. And to know what those solutions are great. But we need to spend time identifying and dealing with what the problem is. And so we pivot a lot of times when we get on these topics to talk about the solutions, as which we should. However, we struggle with the solution or the success of the solution because we don't spend enough time, in my opinion, dealing with and identifying what the inner hate is, or what the issues is, or what they are, which is something I talk about in my book, because we have to be still sometimes and being still can be uncomfortable, and some topics can be heavy and not necessarily pleasant. But just as the actual porn industry have made what should be covered the attraction, and then the things that we should be revealing and talking about, we cover it up. So we never really get to any real healing. Because what should be exposed, and you think about it, the reason why the miracles were so powerful in the biblical times that we look to for faith is everybody knew who was had leprosy. Everybody knew about, in that time frame, the woman with the issue of blood, and she wasn't concerned about it. But because people knew about it, the blind man, the crippled man, they knew, they came by them, they interacted with them in some way or put them in some type of situation, but it was known. And because it was known, then something could be done about it. And the something that was done about it was what we call the miracles when they had their interaction with Jesus. But how much of a miracle would it have been if nobody knew what they were suffering with? So the things that we should be exposing and being transparent or naked about with one another, as we're all human and going through things, we tend to want to cover it up or not spend the time to deal with it because we want to jump to the solution. We know that Jesus is the answer. We know that love is the answer. And if we don't tell him what the problem is or identify what that is, then we won't see the miracles or the results of the love that's successful. So with that being said, to the topic more directly, we have to have these conversations more to really say what is that hate, which I feel like I've already said is a byproduct of anger. And the word says that it's okay to be angry, just don't let that anger cause you to sin. What causes it to turn into sin is because we don't talk about it. And he says that in different ways, even about fathers not provoking your children to anger, because it's a powerful emotion. So if we don't deal with anger properly, meaning addressing it, then therefore it's going to turn into hate, and then we see what hate does.
All right, preacher. Okay, now preacher. All right, preacher. Now look here. Now what kind of book you said? Now I thought you said poem. What'd you say?
Porn.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
So my porn book will be coming out later this year. Make sure that y'all get it when it does. I'll let y'all know about it, and it stands for Perverting Our Real Nakedness.
Okay. Okay. Where my brother at? I need to talk to my brother. Where my brother VP? I need to talk to my brother. Me and him, we gotta have a conversation. We gotta talk about this. Yeah. Well, Toya, what's on your heart? Excuse me, Toya, what's on your heart, sis?
Oh yeah, no, I was taken away by the porn book. That kind of.
You got me too. I was like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, perverting on real nakedness. I was like, definitely makes you think about it and intriguing. But yeah, no. So back to the inner hate thing. Love what Cassandra said, right? Love how sometimes we take that inner hate and instead of inflict it on other people, we inflict it in ourselves. We self-sabotage ourselves. And that sounds familiar, right? Because just because somebody touched me didn't make me want to touch somebody else. Made me angry on the inside. Made me, But again, I had choices. Again, at a very young age, we choose what kind of hate and how it's going to fuel us. Whether it's eating, whether it's being disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? We choose what habit we're going to develop in order to cope and deal with whatever that is. Like beating. You know how angry you are if somebody beats you? My thing for beating children, and I've just come to see the error of my ways because I believe it, but I don't have kids. I had nieces and nephews, and it took one from me, right? Just one. And we straight. I don't have problems that their parents have. But beatings make people angry. And my thing is, if you don't want to get beat at the age you are right now, why are you beating someone else? And what kind of hate are you teaching children to deal with when you beat them? And then when they go to school and act out.
Yeah.
That inner hate. Here come another beat team. And we have this thing where we don't, like when a kid act out, we all should know that something is wrong. Why don't why we keep carrying on with, well, the system said. Now, In the background, if I'm being funny about black people, the same system that enslaved us said that your child is unruly, so you're going to take him home and beat him again.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you got this inside hate really from your parent that you mad about getting beat about. But sometimes we got beat for stuff we didn't do. But now you got to go out here and cope. And this is how bullies are developed. This is how other things are developed now. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got to cope with this inside. So for me, hating sex was to come home to it. So to give it away, it sure don't mean take it to something to heart. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Thinking, you know what I'm saying? Oh, sex means something? No, it don't. A man don't care nothing about having sex with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't mean nothing. So don't get emotional. Do it, get up, and keep it moving. And it made me be more vocal. If I want something, this is just how hate did me. I'm going to point blank say what it is and get what I want. I'm not going to play around with it, but I'm not going to get emotional because I had this hate with people to where I don't make a difference. I do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So it can be tricky because the story that we listened to with David, the same hate from Saul still was an ingredient to drive him to be king. Right?
Good deal. Yeah.
Sometimes this hate that you have can be the very force that drives you to be great. But first, you got to pick what team you're going to play for, the good or the bad one.
Absolutely. And let me go back. I'm gonna go to Leonard next, but Friday, do you have a book cover? What's your cover gonna be?
Now y'all just gonna have to look for it when it comes. I'll make sure I show it to you when it's ready.
I had an idea for you.
Let me hear it.
Be the oak tree in the wintertime. Oak tree in the wintertime, totally naked. Oak tree in the wintertime, no leaves, no foliage, ain't got nothing to hide. Everything's right there exposed. Be like that tree in the wintertime. Leonard!
What's up, Raheem?
What's on your heart, brother? We talking about look at Charles down there. Look at Charles at the bottom of the screen. Charles, cut it out, man. Rico, what's wrong with that fella, man? Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I'm just listening to y'all. You know, the self-hate thing, self-hate, self-loathing. That's what inner hate is. And a lot of people have a lot of issue with it. It leads to depression, suicide, all types of things. But we know it's not something that you should hold on to.
Yeah.
Like say, for instance, if you hate the way you look, that's why some people change the way they look. You hate being overweight, lose some weight. You know, those types of things are maybe a little different than what some people would think of. Inner hate is self-loathing, self-hatred. That's what it is.
Wow.
You may hate someone else for various reasons. And maybe you may think you're justified in that. Because there is such justification for some people. And long as it is not destructive, you can usually try to work your way through it. You may hate something right now and gain some knowledge. A few days later, will change your feelings about it.
Exactly. And that,
so it's good for the people to look for. Try not to hate if possible, but don't act like you have failed because you do hate something.
Exactly. And see, and you said a major thing, change. Willing to change.
Yeah.
Far too often people are not
It's
willing.
all about change.
Yeah. Far too often people want to get stuck in that rut and they don't want to change. Some people are just stuck in that rut.
No.
No,
they don't want to change. I know a lot of people just like that.
Yep.
They just like that. You know what? You have to leave them where they're at.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's contagious.
Yeah. Exactly. Charles, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I like what he said about inner hate and self-loathing and stuff like that, because that's what I was trying to get to. I guess I was going a roundabout way, but I think it is a loathing thing, with the weight loss, with the skin color changing, and things like that. You know, and you know that could be kind of combated in the way that we're raised, or you know, the way that you're raised.
Yeah.
It could be combated that way, or it could be caused by that way also. I think somebody was giving examples of things that happened to them growing up and stuff like that, and then they had the cousin who was, or somebody relatives who were handicapped, and
if you don't, I guess if you have a strong, and not for everybody, this is my opinion. If you have a strong will or a strong way that you were raised, you might not never have those things.
Mm-hmm.
You did it because I was always pushed as a child, being the youngest. Um, how can I say it? I was I was the kid. You know what I'm saying? I was the man.
Mm-hmm.
I was the kid. So my dad and my stepdad always taught me that you number one. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So there was no self hate going on. I didn't even have time to hate people because I was always taught that I was number one.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I look at other cultures and other races and stuff like that, and dealing with other people, and I walk around them, and I work with doctors all day,
Mm-hmm.
I treat them like I don't put them on a pedestal
Yeah.
because I'm Charles. You get what I'm saying? So if I walk in the room with a whole bunch of doctors, and if I can't converse with them, then I just can't converse with them. But more likely I could. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't put them on. I don't. I understand the question about self hate and stuff like that, but I think somebody on here was talking about self love also,
Yeah. My daughter.
and I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's the only way to combat. I guess
Mm-hmm.
and that was smart what she said. Only way to combat the self hate.
Yeah.
But how do you love yourself is the question. I guess most people need to know. Um, some of us might love ourselves too much, and that becomes who said conceited.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep.
So yeah,
Exactly. Uh, Again, that was my daughter. She put it out there, man. She came in and
smart.
threw some fuel on this doggone thing, man. But
Yeah,
like I
came from
said,
her
man,
mom.
it's a lot of layers, and we got to probably visit this again, man, because we actually out of time. Now it's been 3 hours and 1 minute, man. We got to get on out of here. But before I do that, let me go to
You missed what I said.
huh?
I said your daughter's very smart.
Oh, thank you, man. She get it
She
from
got it
mama.
from her. She got it from her. I know.
She got it from her mother. She got it from her mother. Yeah, absolutely. She got it from her mother, brother. You look at she'd
Shut
have
up,
been
man.
hurting. She'd have been hurting. She'd have to get it from me. She'd have been hurting. She'd have been hurt, bro. She'd have been hurt bad. Let me, Rosalind, what's on your heart? She'd have been hurt, bro.
I'm good. I'm just enjoying the show and listening.
Oh,
I'm good.
okay, okay. Hey, I tell you, she would have had to get it from me. She'd have been hurt. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I came in late, but I definitely, I don't know, I sympathize with people that have self hate because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's hard to get through for some people. I
Yeah.
don't care how simple, how simplistic we try to make it sound. It is very hard because you have to deal, and I totally agree. And I'm going to get her book, Friday's
Yes.
book,
Mm-hmm.
whenever it comes out, because you have to identify what is it that puts you in that place.
Yeah.
Deal with it in order for healing to come. Bottom
Mm-hmm.
line, that's just
Mm-hmm.
anybody. I don't care who you are. You have to deal with that issue in order to get over it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And look, and Friday, I guess I'm gonna get a book too. I guess. Look at
I
look.
like porn.
Everyone.
I like porn.
Wait a minute, Cassandra. Wait a minute, Cassandra. What you just say?
I like porn.
Oh Lord, Rico.
I'm talking about Friday kind of porn.
Oh no, you done said it now. You done said it now. Don't try to change it now. We know we heard you loud and clear, sister. It came through loud and clear. We heard every word you said. No, let me stop. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
First, let me tell you, man, this has been a good show today, man. You don't have people calling in from Germany, giving a perspective, informing us on things that we think we know about.
Mm-hmm.
And then also giving you a point of view from another side of the world that actually lets us know that we are one human race.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to get back to the basics on that. So, and Willa, man, I watched the sermon yesterday. A1.
Yeah,
A1,
absolutely.
I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, that book, that title, you're gonna do your thing with that. That's gonna snatch eyes anyway. So that was very intelligent. And I love what you said, because we do have to find out the causes and reasons behind our actions and behavior before we could ever heal or learn to love, or we'll love improperly, or we'll think we love and still haven't solved the problems that causes the hate that we have. And you know, I don't want to dispute anything anybody said, but I think inner hate is so totally separate from self-hate. I think inner hate can devolve into self-hate. But I hate rapists and I hate child molesters, and I've never had either one of them happen to me. But deep down inside, I have a genuine, sincere hate for people that rape and kill children. So I think inner hate can be expressed a certain way, and if you express it and it hurts you, then it's self-hate.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good. And I'm gonna say this right here, then I'm gonna go to Willa. Willa's gonna pray us out. Man, what the world Tom Brady talking about he coming back, man? What's wrong? Man, what
if you still got it, why stop?
Man, look at the man. The man come back, man, mess around and get hurt, man. That man 110 years old, man.
Man, that man was a game away from the Super Bowl last year. Well, and a touchdown. At that, he was this close.
But listen, you got all them other teams, man. Look at Russell Wilson. He done gone over to what's his name, man. The boy's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be it's a lot going on.
Rough. It was rough. It was rough a couple of months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be interesting. But listen, what up?
Hey man, hey Raheem.
Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Well, let's do it.
I am so ready. Father God in heaven, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up to see another day, oh Lord. And Father, we know that you are better to us than we are to ourselves, oh Lord. It's saying that, oh Lord, Father, we're asking that if there's been anything that we said, that we thought, that we've done, that has been displeasing to you in your eyesight, Father, we're truly asking for your forgiveness. Father, we thank you so much for your mercy and your grace. Thank you for your protection and all you do in our lives and all you're going to do in our lives. Father, we trust you and trust no man. We believe Philippians 4:13 that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Father, thank you for the Holy Spirit dwelling in our lives. Touch each and every last one on this line. Keep Raheem and his family safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Anybody got anything before we get out of here? Our hearts and minds are clear. Then we about to get out of here. We want to thank everybody. Why do we smile like that for? Right? Make a book called P-O-R-N. God almighty.
Man, wasn't that genius?
Yeah, was.
That's genius, man.
Yeah, that's absolutely intelligence right there. Look here. I'll get it. See, you must have got that from I ain't gonna say VP.
Say it, because it's true. It actually manifested out of conversations we had talking about Genesis, and just really breaking down Adam and Eve, and at what point did they stop being naked with one another, and how that action continued throughout the biblical history of the Bible. So he gets all the credit.
There you go. See, I knew my brother had something to do with it. I knew he had. Listen, it is 10:17. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:17. I'm about to say the same thing again, Lord Jesus. It's 10:17. I want to thank you all for joining us, and y'all have a great day. I'm not gonna do my ending today. I'm not even gonna do it because we over time. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Y'all have a great day. Take care of each other. Please, please, please be blessed. Do.